Is the Monty Show, Utah's biggest sports talk show. When you're ready to talk sports, all you have to do is find the Monty Show. Streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. Now it's time for the best sports talk in Utah, the Monty Show.
Hey, yo, man. How the heck are you live in, I guess, Tempe, but we're here for Mesa. We'll be going to our first Cubs game tonight. So, yeah, we're looking forward to that. We've got all kinds of stuff to talk about today. And finally doing what you guys have asked us to do for what feels like a month now, which is to, I don't know, what's the right way? Rank the teams between the Big 12 and the Pac-12. A lot of people have asked us to do this.
Yeah.
Like, a lot. Like, hey, man, if they combine the leagues, bro. Well, that's the game we're going to play today. It is the most asked question we get. So we thought that we would throw that out there today on the Monty Show, presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. I feel like we say it every single day, and it's gratifying to see you guys reaching out to The Advocates now, because we've gotten several messages, and it seems like it comes in waves. Hey, yesterday it was my dad got in an accident, told him to reach out to The Advocates. That's why we talk about them so much, because they truly are the best injury attorneys in the business. With all the crazy weather we've had throughout the mountain region this year, if you're getting in an accident, if somebody's running in you because they're distracted or they're driving too fast or driving recklessly, don't rely on your insurance company. They have thousands of attorneys on their side. Why don't you have an attorney? That's why you go to The Advocates, chat with a lawyer. A lawyer live online 24/7 at theadvocates.com at no cost, because you never pay the advocates until they win your case. Okay, let's get right to work, because I think this thing about ranking teams between the Big 12 and the Pac-12, Jake, if I had to say to you who is the single best team, excluding Texas and Oklahoma, excluding USC and UCLA, who's the best team in the Big 12 and the Pac-12?
Well, I think the best team on the football field is TCU. I mean, they've gotten the farthest. They've done the most winning on the football field most recently, but I think the conversation's more than just what happens on the football field. I think, we as the Pac-12 turns, as everyone likes to say, as that conversation has burned on, this piece about education, I think, really matters in this conversation. I don't think that you can be the best team or the best program or the best university in the land if your education sucks, but you're good on the football field. And so for me, the best team right now would be Oregon. I think you have the most complete package educationally and on the football field. But I obviously, I think that's really the conversation we're going to have today. How much should education weigh into value? Because we know the people in the Pac-12 really value education,
yes,
but we also know that the people in the Big 12, while they value it, it's not their number one. So that's why I say, for me, I think just knowing that the Pac-12 values it, I think we have to put it in the conversation. But that would be my question for our viewers. Like, should education matter in this conversation? Because I think it should.
I'm here to tell you you're completely wrong, as usual. I don't think TCU is anywhere near the best team in the conference. I think Utah is the best football program, I think, all around. Man, I think right now it is really difficult not to look at, somebody, because who's the best basketball program? It's Kansas. I think it is. It's in all likelihood, in the new and in the improved Big 12, I don't think there's any doubt it's likely Kansas. But Kansas football, basketball is not as strong. If we're looking at basketball, I'm probably taking Kansas or Houston. If we are looking at football, I don't think there's any doubt. And I think it's close between Oregon and Utah, but I think it's Utah. I would die on that hill. And so when I start looking at like who makes it, out of the Big 12, I don't think there's any doubt TCU's in, K-State, Kansas is in, Texas Tech is in, Okie State, Baylor. But what about West Virginia and Iowa State? Because if I flip over to the Pac-12, and we start talking about, okay, who are we going to put West Virginia in instead of? Washington? Of course not. Oregon? No. Utah? No. Oregon State? No. Washington State? No. Arizona? No. The Cal Golden Bears? Ooh, now we're cooking with gas. Arizona State? No, I'm taking Arizona State.
Yeah.
Stanford? Here's your education comment. Are you taking the lack of production on the football and basketball court and field? Are you going to throw that out because of the awesome academics at Stanford? So are you going to keep Stanford over a West Virginia or an Iowa State?
Yeah, I mean, probably, because I think that you
are.
like, I don't think West Virginia and Iowa State are relevant. Like, I don't think
wow.
that, like, and it kind of goes both ways. This is the tricky part of the conversation. Cool, you may put pads on and you may play football, but you're not relevant, and you cost an F load of money to put on every year. And you can't tell me that over the last 10 years that both of those programs on a P&L sheet have been profitable. I just don't buy it. And I think that, I look at Stanford, and yeah, you're right. Yeah, we've talked all about how Stanford is trash in football. They are not great in athletics. And, honestly, like if I said to you, what's the biggest sport at Stanford, I'm not sure that I could answer that question right now. I don't even know.
So you would, okay, let's look at West Virginia, because I think West Virginia has sports tradition.
Mm-hmm.
But West Virginia in recent years hasn't really competed.
Mm-hmm.
I think Iowa State's the vulnerable one in the Big 12. Because I also think if we look at the bottom of the Pac-12, dude, it's going to be tough to make an argument for a lot of these teams. Like, it's going to be tough. I would even look at Colorado. Is Colorado, if it's today, and I know you're all going to say, well, Coach Prime's praying to Jesus right now. Praise God.
Right.
Well, that's nice. He's praying, but he hasn't won
God's name, image, and likeness.
So Iowa State or Colorado?
Probably Colorado right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, probably Colorado right
Ooh.
now. And that's strictly on hype. Deion hasn't even coached a game yet.
Does Oregon State or Washington State make the cut over West Virginia and Iowa State? Oregon State's in my opinion.
Agreed.
Oregon State is in. I think if we are going to look at who we're cutting in these conversations, I think the Dallas Cowboys make a big trade. The Indianapolis Colts are trading 5-time Pro Bowl corner Stephon Gilmore to the Dallas Cowboys. Whoa.
There you go.
That is a big pickup for the Dallas Cowboys. Wow. A lot more on that at Football 50 coming up in about 40 minutes. But I think here are the 12 schools I think you have to take.
Right.
TCU, K-State, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Kansas. There's 6 right there.
Right.
Okay. I think you have to take them.
Yeah.
I think you have to take Washington, Oregon, Utah, Oregon State, Arizona State. And this is my problem. We get to Stanford, Colorado, Cal, and Washington State.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I mean. They're not relevant. That's the problem. So it's like, that's the thing with Stanford. Stanford's the number 3 educational institution in the country. Like, at least they can say that. Like, you can't be nothing on the football field and nothing in the classroom. That's the problem.
So I think Stanford and Cal are out. The question is West Virginia or Colorado. Well, you're taking
man.
Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado.
West Virginia or Washington State. I think I'm taking Washington State.
Yeah, probably. Because Washington State's given us some really good games over the last few years. Like, I think,
this is where it's. I think you got to take Wazoo.
Yeah,
I think you're kicking West Virginia out. What about Iowa State? I mean, where are you at on Iowa State here? Because
you're 1-8 on the football field last year. Like, you're just not. I feel like I sound like an asshole, probably because I am.
You are.
But you're in Iowa.
You totally are.
You're in Iowa, dude. Like, I'm not taking you over Washington.
What has that got to, I'm sorry. Do you think that Pullman, Washington is like scenic and a tourist destination?
Pacific Ocean.
Are you like on the other side of the state? Are you kidding me? No way, dude. No way. It has nothing to do. You really think this has anything to do with where you're geographically located? Is that how you want to make this decision? It does?
I think there's a factor to it, yeah, because when we talk about advertising, we talk about, again, we're talking about the value of an institution. Like, someone in New York City is going to be way more valuable than Stillwater, right?
Okay, right. But I look at Oklahoma State. At least they have some tradition of winning. This has been one of the worst football, basketball years in Stillwater in many, many years. Like the football program was a huge disappointment. You're sub 500. You're not in the tournament. Like in basketball, like that's a huge problem. But I look at like Iowa State, they're 19-13. That's a 19-game winner. I think Baylor has tremendous value.
Right.
I think, I look at K-State. I think this is one of the best athletic years, football and basketball, that K-State's had in some time.
Yep.
Right? The question that I have is, what are the redeeming qualities? What are the redeeming qualities of West Virginia right now today? Who is what? West Virginia is 7-11 in conference this year, 19-14 in total.
Yeah.
Like that's
I don't know what the redeeming qualities are. Honestly,
You're terrible.
I don't know.
You're 4-8 against AP top 25 teams.
Yeah, you're terrible. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I look at some of these teams and we were kind of putting this topic together and I'm like, man, dude, like I'm not a huge fan of like doing rankings or like who's the best here or the worst there. But like at this point, like we don't have a fresh TV deal. And so we're looking at the value of these different schools and it's like, man, like, yeah, like what am I holding on to with an Iowa State? Like I agree West Virginia's got some tradition, but really what are you holding on to? Tradition, that's it.
In the Big 12, I mean, there's no doubt to me that it's just those two, right? I mean, take Texas out, take Oklahoma. Oklahoma's been trash anyway, so Texas and Oklahoma are out. I look at the remaining schools, and I say to myself, okay, of the teams that are here now, West Virginia and Iowa State, they're out. But if I look at Houston, if I look at BYU, Cincinnati, Central Florida, my guess is Central Florida is going to be the one on the outside looking in, right? If we were doing this today.
Yeah.
But you look at what's in the Pac-12, I think there's a legitimate shot that 4 or 5 of those teams don't make the cut in a combined conference.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
If we combine the two together, I don't think that you can make an argument for certainly not Cal and Stanford.
Nope.
What do you say about Washington State? I mean, that's a football conversation.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
they were 7-6 last year, better than 500. So I mean, you're not terrible, but you're not good. And you look up and down the ranks, and obviously we have to take USC and UCLA out. So if you take those two out, obviously you've got Utah, Washington, and Oregon as your top dogs, and then Oregon State and Washington State are kind of those two middle tier teams. And I know Arizona State has all this great stuff happening. They were 2-7 last year. You look at Arizona 3-6. Like the Arizona schools are really only valuable from a money standpoint. They're really only valuable from revenue generation.
Yeah,
I don't see that these two schools are going to wake up this season and go out and win 10 games. Like that's the thing. Like I have more belief in Prime at Colorado winning 10 games than I do Arizona State winning 10 games. So that's why I have an issue.
I think Arizona State is coming from a different place, obviously coming out of the Herm. Arizona State's got far more value in my mind than Colorado. I mean, I don't even know. Colorado's a sub 500 team in both football and basketball. Like, I'm not the guy that's drinking the Coach Prime Kool-Aid. Like, I think it's neat and it's cool and it's brought a lot of attention to the program, but I don't see him winning 8, 9, 10 games his first year. Like everybody thinks they're going to the national championship. And dude, you actually have to go out and recruit and win games and find a way to be cohesive this first year. And I think that's going to be very difficult. Are they better than they were last year? Well, yeah, your mom coaching the team would be better. Right. So if they win 6 games or more, if they're above 500, if they're bowl eligible, like, okay, those are all major accomplishments.
Right.
Major accomplishments for a P5 team. But I'm not sitting here telling you that Deion Sanders is the end all be all. I mean, they're a pretty damn average athletic program. They're not good in basketball. They're not great at football. They're just average. But there's no question they make the cut.
Yeah,
there is no question they make the cut.
Yeah, I think they make the cut. I agree that there's some controversy around Prime and what actually is going to get done when it comes to the business of winning football games. Yeah, there absolutely is controversy. I believe in the guy, but again, that's all opinion based. There's nothing says that he's going to be better than what were they 1-8 I think or whatever it was. Like nothing says that on paper. It's more just a hype thing, and that's why I said like. That's why I look at Deion and I say, all right, This is a guy who I think we can all agree at a minimum knows how to recruit kids. He knows how to get people to come to his program at least, which I think is a huge hurdle. But does he know how to beat Oregon up at Autzen? Does he know how to beat Utah at Rice Eccles? Like I don't think we can say that yet. But again, I'll keep saying it. Like I have more belief in someone like Deion Sanders than an upstart Arizona State team that's coming out of the Herm thing and has a bunch of drama, and we get to see if Jacob Conover's actually a quarterback or not. Like that. Like I don't know,
Drew
dude.
Pine, right?
Drew Pine. Like you see what I'm saying?
Drew
like
Porcupine.
Like
but again, this is why I go back to the bottom feeders in the conference, because I think when you look at Iowa State, and obviously they had a bad year this year. But I think you look at Hall's been a Heisman Trophy guy for 2 years. Now he's in the NFL. I don't know. I'm not ready to kick Matt Campbell to the curb. I'm not saying that they're terrible, but if we're picking today, it's too bad we're not picking in 2020, right? But if we're picking today, I think it's awfully difficult to take Iowa State and say, yeah, this is one of the best programs in either conference.
Right.
Because right now today, I don't think they are.
Yeah.
And I know West Virginia's not. So I don't know. I think it's tough. I think Ames is a great college town. I think Ames is a great place. I would take Iowa State over Cal, Stanford. I think
it's just tough with Stanford because you know what they are educationally. They just have zero value other than that. That's the problem. You don't have anything besides that, and that's kind of what's frustrating about the expansion conversation that we've been having, because it's like the Pac-12 saying they want to hang out around Stanford because they're third ranked. I understand it, but I don't know, man. There needs to be some decisions made. Like some of these schools need to like get on with it. Like I think
Matt Campbell's fine. I think Iowa State is fine. I mean, if you look at their recent history, you're going to have off years. I mean, they had a really off year, but I mean, you lost your best players. I just think this is a really difficult choice. And I'm not hating Iowa State because they're in Iowa, such as yourself.
Such as in like.
Again, I have a lot of respect for Ames as a conference, or as a college town, but like I more look at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is in a terrible place athletically now. Well, Coach, you're garbage right now. Like Coach Gundy, they're coming off of a terrible season football-wise, and we're not talking about removing them from the conference, but I think it's because it's Oklahoma State, right? Like that's a thoroughbred in the history of the Big 12. Yep. So I don't know. I think it's a really difficult choice, but I don't think there's any doubt in preparing to talk about this today. The Big 12 is a far better conference.
Yeah.
That we're just debating Iowa State and West Virginia and
it's
the state of those programs today.
Yeah.
And again, I think I can make an argument for Iowa State over Colorado, but I know it's Coach Prime and everybody's getting excited about that. Well, I don't know that 3/4 of this is an accurate Coach.
Well, whatever, dude. I think this conversation serves as an example of why the pretentiousness of the Pac-12 schools is getting in the way of them moving forward. Because you sit here and you start to look at some of these examples and you're like, wait, we're going to be surrounded by Iowa State? Like what? You know what I mean? Like, I think Pac-12 schools get hung up on that. That's the thing.
I agree they do. All right, first one in today here on the Monty Show. I'm almost hesitant. How many like just firecracker comments are there today? How dare you say that about my institution? What do you want to bet? I'm
sure there are plenty.
The Macho Man came out swinging today, though. He says, good afternoon. Watched The Godfather for the first time last night. Epic movie. Jake is missing out.
See, I'm not the only one who hadn't seen it.
Right, but you're avoiding it.
I'm not avoiding it.
Have you seen it?
No. Have you wanted to watch it? No.
Yes. T. Lawrence Gragston says Godfather and Casino are required movies to watch.
I believe I've seen Casino.
Okay. I'm sorry. Repeat that for me. I thought you said I believe. If you'd seen Casino, you would have known it. Do you guys see what I'm talking about? Every single day.
It's what you have to work with.
Every single day.
Yeah, it's what you have to work with.
Every single day.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, it is. Mike Chase, how the heck are you? He says, good afternoon, fellas. BYU is definitely the biggest brand, LOL. Probably would actually say Oklahoma State or Washington. Like brand power wise.
Oregon. Telling
Wow.
you, Washington won a couple games last year. That doesn't make them the biggest brand.
I think a lot of people believe a hell of a lot more in Washington than I do, because I'm not a huge believer in Washington. But boy, if you're comparing BYU,
yeah, I mean, if we're gonna start talking about the new schools, yeah, I mean, BYU's brand is massive. I'm not quite sure that they're bigger than, what's another massive brand here? I mean, you look like, is BYU
There's
bigger?
not.
Because here's the deal. It depends how you measure it. Like, if you're going to measure it from a global standpoint, sure, you can make BYU's case. But if I'm going to sit here and I'm going to measure it in our country,
you measure it a lot.
Yeah, I measure it a lot. There's a lot to measure. That's why I measure a lot. You know what I mean? But anyway, the point is yeah, I mean, if we're going to measure BYU, like, I don't know, man. There's some, like, I feel like people are sleeping on UCF a little bit. UCF,
come on.
UCF has a good brand.
Stop.
Like, you look at
don't. Please don't. Do not come in here and be like, hey man, what are they? The Golden Hurricane? No, I'm kidding. Don't be like, the Knights, dude. You're sleeping on the Knights, bro. Like, I'll get out my horse.
Gus
What do they call
Malzahn
that?
is a good coach, dude.
When you have the joust, we'll joust for it. Don't.
I'm not jousting anything.
I'll sword fight. I'm just telling you.
I'd love it to be wider.
I would too. Coach. I'm just telling you right now, there is no reason that, no, we're not doing Central Florida. Okay, let's play the game. BYU or Arizona.
BYU.
BYU or Oregon. Or ASU.
BYU.
Washington State.
BYU.
Utah. Ooh. Them there's fine words, sir.
Yeah, because I just think that, again, like, Utah's had so much success on the football field, I'm not just going to skip that. Like, I think last year, BYU embarrassed themselves. Like, and I'm not afraid to say that. Everyone says, oh, you guys are a BYU channel. BYU was garbage last year, dude. And I love Max Tooley to death. Met the guy the other night. We've had him on the show. Love my guy. Right? Love Judy Lawley. Love all the guys that we had on the program, over the course of the season. But there's no denying it. You weren't good last year. You lost a bunch of games you shouldn't have lost.
Well, and that's the measuring stick. If we're talking about Iowa State, I mean, that's the measuring stick is where we are right now today.
And hasn't that always been the proposition with BYU, though, right? If we really get down to it, take the Zacky Poo years out. If you really get down to it, BYU's value has always been, hey, we may not be a 10-win school every single year, 10-win program every single year, but we have the ESPN deal. We're going to get at least 1 million people on the tube every single game. That's been the value proposition. So,
I don't disagree with that.
They are valuable, certainly, because of the ESPN thing, because of what's going on here. But I'm not going to say that they're more valuable than a Utah when I know Brant Keithy's coming back, when I know Cam's coming back, when I know that Utah will compete.
Wait. Who's the biggest brand in the Big 12? Probably Oklahoma State.
Probably.
Right? You take out Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah, probably.
Oklahoma State or Texas Tech, I would guess. I would think, right? I mean, Texas Tech bigger than, although Texas Tech or Baylor, but I think Texas Tech is probably bigger than Baylor.
Had a rough year last year, dude.
Transition football year though, they were coming out of a really good year and they've been strong in basketball. But if we're talking about Kansas. I mean, Kansas isn't bigger than Oklahoma State, I wouldn't think. Depending on what Kansas keeps doing football, I would think Texas Tech and Oklahoma State are the biggest brands in the Big 12, right? I mean,
yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I know that it was kind of a one-hit wonder with TCU, but if you have big, if you get to, let's say, the Final Four of the college football playoff this coming season, then I think we have to start talking about TCU as one of the most valuable. But I think they got to do that still, so I'm not going to put them in that group.
I think where I'm at on this is, I think in the Big 12 right now, obviously, again, removing Texas and Oklahoma, I think it's Texas Tech or Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that Baylor can compete on that level. Cyclone Steve said, OU sucked last year. I guess they're worthless. Well, they're not in the Big 12 anymore.
And that's another question
we're not considering them.
I mean, if so for you guys out there, the viewers, are you considering SC and UCLA? Because they technically have one more year, but they're out of here. You know what I mean? Like they're not some, some huge influence on what's happening.
I think if you look at in the terms of this conversation, recent success, I mean, sure, let's consider TCU. But if we're talking about overall brand, BYU has a national championship. Right. So,
but how relevant is that? And I'm not even making a joke. How relevant is that? I mean,
I think it's a long time ago, 1984.
Yeah, I mean that's a long time ago, dude.
I mean, what is that? Almost 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. It's a long time ago, but it's not like it goes away.
No.
It's not like the legacy of Lavelle Edwards and the alumni base goes away. I think BYU has an incredibly relevant brand. I think it's got an incredibly valuable brand.
I think what's tough, though, is that every year that goes by that you don't win a national championship, and this works both ways. Obviously, for TCU, it's helped them. For BYU, it's not. Like, every year that goes by that you don't at least get to the game, get to a college football playoff final game, let's say, or some huge game. I think every year that goes by, you don't do that. I think it's just another year that your championship gets older and it becomes less relevant. And like for me, I don't think BYU and think national championship. Yeah, they have one. Yeah. But that was 40 years ago. Like at some point you gotta get back there. You know what I mean? Like, and I agree. It doesn't just disappear. They have one. But when we're talking about value today, I don't know. I have some hesitation about just how valuable that is because it was so long ago.
Yeah, I think it's incredibly valuable. Boyd Lake says Utah hasn't even won the Rose Bowl. Well, I mean, you're talking about the original BCS Buster. If anybody is questioning the value of Utah football, I think you're just being obtuse. Because I think the value of Utah football is clear. I mean, they're a dominant program. They recruit, they develop, they win games. Have they lost back-to-back Rose Bowls? Sure. But there's something in getting to the Rose Bowl 2 years in a row.
Right.
There's something being back-to-back, Pac-12 champions. So I think that is incredibly valuable. But what's more valuable, winning back-to-back Pac-12 championships and going to the Rose Bowl 2 years in a row, or a national championship in '84? I'm probably taking the national championship.
Probably, yeah. I mean, we all talked about it. We all went through the disappointment of back-to-back Rose Bowl losses, back-to-back years where Cam Rising gets hurt, back-to-back years where you didn't get it done, back-to-back years where your fans dominated that stadium, right? Like, I mean, we've seen it. We know it. We experienced it. So yeah, I mean the national championship probably is more valuable on a resume, but I don't know. If you said to me, hey, like BYU or Utah, I'm taking Utah right now. That's just what it feels like.
Yep. Matthew Nichols gives us $2 to say Texas Tech and Oklahoma State, best Big 12 brands. PAC wanted them in 2011. They did want them in 2011, but did they go? They didn't.
Yeah.
Larry Pilgrim gives us $2 to say, name the New Year's Six bowls BYU has been to since 2000. Why? What is your? I'm assuming you're trying to prove a point with that. I don't know what that point is.
But the problem with this comment, and I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to say, oh, well, they haven't been to a New Year's Six and how long, and they're not valuable. It's not just about like what game you've played. And we're both kind of making that point here. Like, yeah, you have a national championship, but it was a while ago. Yeah, you went to the Rose Bowl twice, but you won neither of them. So it goes both ways. And I think brand value isn't just determined by how many New Year's Six games you've been to. I do think it's important to get to those games. I do think that BYU needs to see a championship game in the Big 12 before 5 years is up. I really believe that. Like, you're going to make this switch, you need to be relevant. You can't be Iowa State. And I don't think they will be. I think they will be middle to upper echelon as the years go by. But to try to determine their value based on how many New Year's Six bowls they won is a little, silly to me.
And then my question is, how are you going to do that with Texas Tech and, whoever you think your most valuable brand, Oklahoma State, whoever you think. I mean, maybe it is Baylor. Baylor's got a national championship in basketball, right? I mean, and 2 years ago or whenever that was. But listen, I think it's a formula. Again, if you're trying to keep Utah out or keep BYU out, I think you're just being obtuse.
Agreed.
I mean, those are clearly two of the most important brands in either conference.
Yeah.
Frankly, there's no doubt about that. And again, this is what pisses fans at Iowa State off, and I totally get that. but that's the reality of it. And I think if you guys, would just take my advice and get to buckedup.com and use the promo code Monty to save 20% off, your thinking would be much clearer.
That's right.
Right? Like I've got my Bucked Up shaker right here. I'm telling you, it's the best shaker you'll ever own. And don't take my word for it. Get it free. Don't pay for it. Don't go out of your pocket yet. Go down to the link below. It says free sample link right there. Click on it. You pick 3 samples. And I would tell you, if you're a workout guy such as myself, when 9 days out of 10 we get up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym and work out before we do the show, right? I need some pre-workout. I need a nice pick-me-up. Absolutely.
Do you even lift?
I am telling you that Bucked Up pre-workout gets the job done. They have high stem. They have low stem. Go check it out. Try the samples. You can pick any 3 samples that you want. And if that is hydration and electrolytes, BCAAs, pre-workout, you name it, they'll give you samples, 3 of them for free with a shaker cup. You pick the color of the shaker cup. It is, you guys, I'm telling you, it is the best shaker cup I have ever owned. I travel with it. I take it everywhere I go. I love this thing. It is durable. It is beefy. The chicks dig it.
Yeah.
Facts.
I mean, they've all, that they told me that and stuff.
Can you measure it?
But the point is, you can measure it. It's like 50 ounces of water, by the way.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So it's a super soaker.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is get to buckedup.com, use the promo code Monty to save 20% off. Try their samples free. Get a free shaker cup. Click the free sample link right now in the description below here on YouTube. And by the way, shoot me pictures. Tell me what you did. Tell me what you think. I love hearing back from you guys.
Yes.
On Bucked Up Energy, as we talk about the most valuable brands in the Big 12. And I see all the comments. You guys are losing. Iowa State fans are unhappy with us. Well,
I didn't sleep for the past 2 nights because of this. I was that upset.
Because you want to continue to slander Ames, Iowa.
Venom and vitriol.
Andrew H. says, name the New Year's Six Bowls Miami has been to since 2000. There you go. John Famlor, I'm just curious, how many teams do you think the Big 12 can absorb from, say, both the PAC and the ACC? Well, I don't think the Big 12's looking at the ACC for a merger.
I don't think anyone's looking at the ACC.
Do we see a big 32-team conference someday like 2037? I don't. I think that you will have... I mean, if you've got 32-team conferences, how are you going to get all of them accommodated? I mean, there's just no way to make that happen.
Yeah, I think the tough part is as and this is a problem for every conference growing forward, including the Big Ten and the SEC. As you expand more, as you add more teams, as you do certain things, like you begin to understand that at some point it's not going to be good enough for just ESPN to be your TV provider, for just Fox to be or CBS to be your TV provider. At some point, you're going to have to get, Amazon money, let's say, or you're going to have to get, $50 million a year. Like, imagine that. Like the comment said, 32 teams. I mean, 32 teams. What is that? What is the math on that? You do 32 teams times 50 a year. I mean, that's $1 billion a year.
I
mean, that's $1 billion a year, bro. I mean, that is insane money. So that's why I say, I mean, at some point, whether it's the Big 12 or otherwise, like, these conferences are going to have to come to this understanding. You're going to have multiple media rights. But if we flip it on its head, if you only have 2 conferences, obviously there's going to have to be some sharing that goes on.
But who wants a 32-team conference?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know that would be healthy.
I don't think that's good. I don't. And what's going to eventually happen is teams at the bottom of these conferences are going to be irrelevant, and there's going to be no way for them to dig out.
Yeah.
Because there's only so many TV games to go around. And this is, again, maybe one of the reasons why an Amazon Prime Sports needs to offer every single game that a 32-team conference plays, and you can pick it off the menu.
Yeah.
In Amazon Prime Sports. Like, maybe that's just what the solution is, but the idea that you can have a thriving 32-team conference, I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
Because there's only so many dollars to go around. There are only so many eyeballs to go around. I just don't see that as I mean, what does that even look like TV-wise?
I don't know. Like, I don't know how you find balance in it. I mean, do we get into a place where on-field performance matters how much you're on TV. Well, we're already in that place, right? I mean, you already know that the Red Sox and Yankees are on ESPN like every night during the baseball season. Like,
yeah, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to get burned out on it. So I don't know. I think, look, without getting too far into the weeds on it, I think that there will be development on that conversation. That, like, there will be natural progression that has to take place for it to work.
Yeah, I totally agree. There is, James Bradbury going back to the Eagles on a 3-year deal. Boy, NFL free agency has been crazy. We're going to do football at 50 here in 15 minutes. That Darren Waller trade to the Giants today, my God, dude. My God. Speaking of the chimes, make sure that you ask Jake to pull them out so that you join the membership. There's a link. We have memberships from $1.99 all the way up to $9.99. Make sure you check them out on the channel. Appreciate it. Boyd Lake says Texas Tech was in the Final Four recently. They were. Cyclone Steve says Iowa State went to the Big 12 championship game 3 years ago. I guess value drops fast. It does.
It does, man.
It does.
And I think it drops faster for brands.
Absolutely.
You know, again, I don't mean anything by it, but when you're a smaller brand like an Iowa State, when you're a smaller brand like Cal, like Stanford, like, Arizona, let's say, if you're not successful on the court, your brand value is going to drop quickly. Georgia can afford to go 0-50 over the next 3 years. They're still going to be relevant. Yeah. They are, because they've won back-to-back national championships. It's Kirby, it's drunken Stetson, it's race car driver Jalen Carter.
But even more to the point, look at Alabama. Alabama's got one of the top basketball teams and one of the top football teams, regardless of who delivered a gun.
Yes.
You've got all of these. So it can be done. It's very difficult to compete at the top of both basketball and football at the same time. Mm-hmm. It's incredibly rare, and you look at who the number one seeds are. It's not, I mean, for me anyways, it's not a surprise that you have different looks, different schools. Like Alabama's one of the top teams, but Aaron Rodgers.
Oh God.
Will join Pat McAfee tomorrow.
Oh boy, here we go.
Are we getting an announcement? Finally.
Wow.
Finally.
You always knew it was going to be the PMS show. You always knew.
Are we getting an announcement that this is interesting?
A-Raj is going to go on PMS. He's going to say, I'm taking my talents to New York City.
Are we finally going to get an announcement from Aaron Rodgers?
Rodgers isn't the kind of guy that puts out a statement to retire, right? Like, obviously, he's not retiring. I think we can all agree on that. But that's not even a possibility, agree with that, right? Like, he's not put out a statement guy, right? Like, we can all agree on that.
I don't think he's a put out a statement guy. I don't think he's a put out a statement guy.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't know. Do you guys think does he announce it? Does Aaron Rodgers announce on Pat McAfee tomorrow what his decision is? Or let me get this right. Does Aaron Rodgers announce on the Pat McAfee show tomorrow that he's coming back to collect his $59 million?
Where is Aaron right now?
Because stop with this. I was looking at some media in Green Bay this morning. Will Aaron Rodgers retire? Shut up with that.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Is it that you guys are eating rotted cheese up there?
Well, and
listen, I understand. Well, it could be, because I understand that Packer fans, you're not the most intelligent people. Let's just be honest. You work around chemicals with your hands. Okay, cool. I don't know what that has to do with anything. But the point is, you clearly have brain damage because you're a Packer fan. No. You don't really believe that Aaron Rodgers is going to retire. I think as a Packer fan, you're hoping.
Oh, he's going to retire a Packer, and we're going to ride off into the sunset together.
Yeah, you and Jordan Love, enjoy that, because you're going to trade him, and then you're going to make or break on Jordan Love. I mean, that's just what it is.
The reality of the situation.
Pat McAfee does it again. Not only did Owen say F Boston on the Pat McAfee show, but now tomorrow, Aaron Rodgers is going to go on the Pat McAfee show at 1 Eastern, and he is going to announce whatever he is going to announce.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers out of the darkness into Pat McAfee's lap.
I'm ready for this to be over. I'm ready for the Aaron Rodgers love fest to be over, dude. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
I have a feeling. This is it.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be. I mean, you don't. It's always been Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, and now it's going to be Aaron Rodgers Wednesday. Come on.
It is going to be. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Pat McAfee rides again.
To control their little world.
Are you guys in the comments real quick? Like, are you guys Pat McAfee show fans? How many people that watch this show watch the Pat McAfee show? Because I'm a huge fan. Yes.
Program.
Yes. Yes. Cyclone Lazard. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you look at, by the way, did you guys see that Alan Lazard? Where did anybody see where he signed today? He from Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah.
He went to the New York Jets today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's all this is tomorrow. Hey, I'm going to the Jets. All right, great. Cool.
All right, thanks for coming.
Man. Thanks for coming, dude. Like they're signing guys like Alan Lazard. Did you really think that he's not going to the Jets after that happened?
Well, what do you make of this whole thing, though? Because if you guys didn't hear the news today, Aaron gave the Jets a list of players according to the lovely Diana Rossini at ESPN. Aaron Rodgers gave a list to the New York Jets that included Alan Lazard, who today signed with the Jets, Randall Cobb, and Mercedes Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's going to be on the Pat McAfee show. And listening to Pat every day, I can tell you Pat's going to ask him what we're doing.
Yeah, he is.
He's going to ask him what are we doing?
Well, we have, Aaron Rodgers going on this podcast and that podcast and doing this bit and that bit. And it's just, I understand why this guy's at the center of it all. Totally get it. At the same time, at some point, dude needs to stop running the circuit. It needs to start winning championships. And I agree when Gronk gave him all that heat about saying that, oh, well, I'm capable of winning MVPs. And Gronk said, hey, shouldn't you be more interested in winning championships? I'm with that energy, but Aaron's not that guy. Aaron's never been that guy. Aaron's always been selfish. Aaron's always been the guy that likes himself a lot of Aaron. That's who he is. And that's why I've always had a problem with him. And yeah, I would feel differently if this was, whatever mainstay quarterback you want to point to. If this was Patrick Mahomes, I'd feel differently. Patrick Mahomes has actually won multiple championships. He it just would be different. But I just feel like Aaron wants to be in the center of everything all the time.
But
dude.
Aaron Rodgers is largely unlikable.
Yeah.
Right? I think we all can agree with that.
Yes.
He is just not a guy that you root for. Aaron is a guy, even as a Packer fan, the Packer fans that I know do not root openly for Aaron Rodgers. He's a guy you're like, all right, cool, glad he's our quarterback. Oh, he's gone? Okay, gone and forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because you're going to have another guy there. And don't get me wrong, I don't think it's Jordan Love. I don't think he's the next great thing.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time believing that you're just going to be able to move on from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Because I still maintain Aaron Rodgers has MVPs in his blood. Dude.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that the unfortunate portion with Aaron Rodgers is that, you don't just move on from a guy of his talent. The problem is he's one of these in-between guys. Yes, he's one of the most talented guys in the league. Yes, you put the ball in his hands with 2 minutes left or 30 seconds, as we've seen before, and you'll probably go out and win that ball game in the 2-minute drill. We know that. We've seen that. We've seen him torture teams with the cadence and the snap count and, getting the flag called and then still taking a shot down the field, to Devontae, and it's a huge thing. But Devontae's gone now, and so is Aaron Rodgers. And now everyone thinks that, Aaron's going to go to the Jets, and because they have Alan Lazard and a couple rookie wide receivers who had a nice year, that he's just going to be able to do what he's always done. And I'm saying that's not how it works in the league. I don't care how good you are. You still need, because if you don't have top end talent, you got to have a great relationship with your guys. They have to listen to you and buy in, and that's always been the thing, right? Nobody really likes to play for Aaron Rodgers. You play for Aaron Rodgers because you
tolerate
believe.
him.
Exactly. You tolerate him. You tolerate, the I don't, believe in helping these guys. It's not my job to help these guys in camp. It's, you tolerate his nonsense. And that's why I say, I think that, if Aaron goes to the Jets and flames just like Brett Favre did, 10 years from now when Aaron's retired and he's not playing anymore, how will we remember Aaron? Because I'll remember him as someone with one Super Bowl and someone who was selfish. That's how I remember him. I don't even think that's being mean about Aaron Rodgers. I think that's fair. I think that is not harsh at all based on his behavior and how he's treated people. So, I don't know. I think if you go to another team, it's crucial you win. Especially as a quarterback. You go wide receivers, you can bounce around all you want, right? You're just a weapon. You're a paid assassin. Yeah. Quarterbacks are different, man. You're the face of the franchise. Yeah,
I think the Packers are going to F around and find out tomorrow. Yeah. I think that they naturally got tired of Aaron Rodgers, but there's a lot of risk in that. And I think when you look at what the Bears are doing, what the Lions have done the last year, do you look at the Vikings restructuring Kirk Cousins today? I think that's a huge story. I think this is a big, big deal.
But look at Kirk, right? Isn't Kirk a classic guy who never wins anything and you pay him a bunch of money, but you really have no problem with him because you know what he is, right? You don't hear Kirk Cousins running his mouth or doing darkness retreats or just doing all this weird stuff and being that guy. You don't hear about that. What do you hear about? Hey, guys like playing for him. Yeah, maybe they come up short and they're pissed about that at the end of the year, but the overall experience is a good one. And that's why he continues to be the guy that has made, I don't know if it's the most money, but right up there as made the most money in the last 5 years because people like to play with him.
Yeah, and I think that Aaron Rodgers is never going to be Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And I think Aaron Rodgers is never going to be revered like a Drew Brees was revered. Right? I don't think he's ever going to win. The at the level that Tom won at, he'll never be considered as great as Peyton Manning. If you think about the best quarterbacks of this generation, he's not it.
Yeah,
he's not. And I think a lot more guys would rather have Phillip Rivers than Aaron Rodgers, right? Like Phillip Rivers, who never won a championship. Aaron's got a ring, and most guys don't like playing for him.
Yeah.
In all honesty, you look at the guys of note recently who are revered veterans. You'd rather play for Drew Brees. You'd rather play for Tommy. You'd rather, because you're going to win, right? At least with Tom, as much as he yells and screams at you and your wife wants to hit that, you at least understand that he's going to win.
Yeah.
What are you hanging on to with Aaron Rodgers? Darkness retreats and, as he says, crapping himself after drinking ayahuasca? What are you hanging on to with this guy? And it's every single summer. I have a decision to make. I have to think about it. I don't know what I'm going to do. The guy leaves the locker room backward because he's holding a gun and a mask. He's holding you hostage every single summer.
Doesn't that feel like with the Jets already?
Aaron Rodgers has held the Jets hostage all offseason so far.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe he has already let them know through back channels, because of course he would never do it outside of the rules of free agency and tampering. But maybe he said to them, "Oh yeah, I'll be there." And maybe they're working on a trade already, and they've engineered it. And okay, I'm good with that. And maybe it's got to be post June 1st. Okay, I'm good with that. Aaron's not an off-season workout guy to begin with. And if you truly are, as Diana Rossini said today, if you truly are bringing in Randall Cobb, and they already have Alan Lazard, if you're bringing in Mercedes Lewis, if you're bringing in Odell Beckham Jr., he knows all these guys.
Yeah.
They're all hanging out together. Hey, maybe chemistry's already built in, hey, maybe this isn't that big of a deal. But you better watch what you wish for with Aaron Rodgers, because the biggest question I have about A-Rod and the Jets, does he make them a Super Bowl contender? Certainly he does. Does Aaron Rodgers make them championship good with the Jets? And I'm telling you, he does not. He does not. They're awfully young. They're going to spend a ton of money. This is Tampa with Tom Brady.
Totally.
And you're going to say goodbye to a lot of different people now, because Aaron Rodgers is going to get $59 million.
Totally. You're spot on, dude.
I know.
Spot on. And then what's going to happen? You're not going to win anything. Everyone's going to be all pissed off at the end of the year. When Buddy made his money, you didn't win anything. People, like you just said, are going to leave the organization for this guy because you can't afford to pay him. And you didn't win anything and you feel like an idiot. And that's my problem with the Aaron Rodgers experience.
Totally agree. James Knight. What's up, James Knight?
Hello, James.
He has a new avatar of Josh Giddey
Okay.
in his Oklahoma City orange.
Okay.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah, dude.
Not heading to Wisconsin anytime soon, Monty. No,
Nope.
we're going to stay out of Wisconsin.
I'm not doing any darkness retreats in Kenosha.
We're going to stay out of Wisco. Kenneth says, you do know that West Virginia and Tech have the highest fan vote. Right. And that, so let's do this. Put the fan vote in one hand and put a pile of cow crap in the other. Which one comes? Guy, what are you talking? Fan vote? What does that mean?
Fan sentiment may be there, but ultimately it doesn't matter with value, man. Doesn't matter with value. Has it ever mattered with value?
No.
Has it ever have fan, like, you know, and I used to die on this hill, and I've come to the middle on this a little bit, that fans don't matter.
Here we go.
Fan sentiment is garbage. Like, it's true. Like, these organizations are going to do whatever the hell they want. Dana White's going to smack his wife around, and then he's going to start a smacking league, and we're not going to say anything about it. You know, like, it just is. This is the world we live in, man. Fans don't. Your opinion. As far as as far as the NFL is concerned, it doesn't care about, you know, its female fans. We just saw tape this offseason of a guy beating his wife in front of his kid. Like, fans don't matter. They just don't.
Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, dude.
Like all these.
Yes.
Yeah,
dude, if Jalen Carter gets drafted top 10, top 5, do fans really matter? Does fan sentiment really matter?
No, the only thing that matters is the meatball marinara at Papa Murphy's Pizza, who presents football at 50, 10 of the hour, every hour. I feel like on this mixer, on our road mixer, there's a lot more beat to it.
There's a lot more bass to it, I think.
Football 50, 10 of the hour, every hour on the Monty program. Here on the Monty Show, as always, it is presented by our good friends at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase at $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Again, the big story right now, Aaron freaking Rodgers is going on the Pat McAfee show tomorrow. PMS Live, 1 Eastern time. That would be, let's see, noon Central, 11 Mountain, 10 Pacific time. And I presume that Aaron Rodgers is going to announce what his decision is. Live on the Pat McAfee show. That's going to be a big one.
I understand it from Pat McAfee.
I am excited.
But see, this is the thing, right? I don't even blame you for being excited. I'm excited, not because it's Aaron Rodgers, because I want this whole thing to be over. I understand why Pat puts him on constantly. The guy has 45,000 people who watch at one time concurrently. I'd be putting Buddy on too, dude.
We have 45 that watch, like, occasionally, sometimes, like, over the course of 10 years. Anyway, the point is, I go on the Pat McAfee show too and end all the questions.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be amazing. That's going to be awesome. I think some of the bigger stories today around NFL free agency, and I'm curious what you guys think. What do you make of Allen Lazard? Is Allen Lazard a good, capable, is he a number one wide receiver on a championship caliber team?
I don't know that he's a bona fide number one. I think that he can be one of your best, though. You know, I like, he's not Devontae Adams' number one swag guy. You know, he's not like another number one name you want to throw out there, right? Like, he's not Mike Evans' number one. But I think that Allen Lazard is definitely a key contributor to your football team and your offense. I think he's somebody that is out there, you know, what, all 3 snaps of every set? Like, you need him out there.
But if you run out Hall, Wilson, Davis, and Lazard, you're doing okay. You're doing okay, and you're going to have to. Hopefully, you get Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear A-Rod talking about how he doesn't have guys to throw to. I mean, you've got guys there for sure.
I mean, you have guys who can catch the football on that team. Obviously,
Yes.
Hall out of the backfield can really catch the football. You know, it's going to be interesting to see exactly, how all of that works out, I'm quite curious. But
I mean, and I think the other part of this conversation with Aaron Rodgers is this division that they play in. I mean, the East is a good division now. I mean, you look at what the Dolphins have done.
Is it though?
Yeah, I think when you're playing the Dolphins and the Bills, I think the Patriots are average right now.
But the Dolphins were a 500 team last year. They were 9-8 or whatever it was.
8-9, or 9-8. My apologies.
They're a 500 football team.
Yeah.
I think the rock solid team in that division is the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Jets fell off the radar. They should have been a 10-7, 11-6 team. They weren't. They were 7-10. So you feel like there's a big jump if you have quality, consistent quarterback play.
Yeah.
But does Aaron Rodgers give you that when you're going to have a pretty average offensive line? I don't know. I think that's interesting. The other team I think is really interesting today is what about the Las Vegas Raiders? Did you guys hear about this Darren Waller trade? They trade Darren Waller to the New York Giants. And it ain't like everybody's real happy about that, including, I don't know, Josh Jacobs, the guy you just dropped a tag on.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Jacobs tweeted, "It's sad FR." And Jake says that means freaking real.
For real. It's sad for real.
It's freaking real.
No, it's for real.
Farking real? Fracking real. For real.
I don't know what fracking has to do with this.
Me either. Clean coal. Josh Jacobs is upset with some of these moves. Doesn't mean anything.
No, doesn't mean anything. Again, you're a player. You're not an owner. You're not a front office guy. So deal with it.
It means absolutely nothing that the Giants are trading for tight end Darren Waller with Daniel Jones and Saquon going back there.
Yeah, I think,
now you add Waller. That's a real offense now.
Yeah, and what did they trade him for? I think the 106th pick, I believe it was. You didn't trade him for really anything.
Yeah, the other team that I think is really interesting. What about the LA Rams? And did you guys see this from last week? Sean McVay this morning said, quote, "You want to make sure you're making a decision for years to come. I'm committed to not having this become a story every year. I don't want to take that lightly."
Oh, you mean like Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, I get you, Sean. I understand. You don't want to be in the media all summer? Totally understand, man. Totally get it. And yeah, I think that, head coaches, we saw it with Bruce Arians back in the day. These guys need days off. These guys need a year to unplug and not think about X's and O's and watch football as a fan. And I think that's exactly what Sean did. I think that Sean is someone that had a bunch of success, has struggled, and I think needs to feel like, hey, whatever decision I make, I'm going to stick with for the duration of time I set that for. So when I tweet, hey, I'm returning in 2023, or my decision to return in 2023 isn't just for this year, it's for years to come. Don't ask me if I'm retiring, because I'm not retiring. I think he just wants to end that speculation, and I understand that. Totally get it, being in LA, dude. Totally get it.
Yeah, listen, I think it's really interesting to see exactly how all of this shakes out. And to see what Sean McVay does. I think the Raiders, the Rams, I think the Chargers are making big moves. I think if you look at this free agent period, and we've had a lot, and I know everybody always says this, but I'm telling you right now, this free agent period has been something that is, I don't know that we've seen this kind of transformative list of transactions.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the Stephen Gilmore deal to the Cowboys, I think, is a big deal. Again, we hadn't seen really any pass catchers. Wide receivers or big-time tight ends change teams in day one. Today, Lazard, obviously Darren Waller's a big deal going to the Giants. But you look at the moves that were made today, like Shaq Mason. The Texans getting Shaq Mason from the Bucks is a big deal. Jacoby Myers.
Yep.
Jacoby Myers from New England going to Las Vegas, another name that Josh McDaniels is comfortable with. He clearly knows Jacoby Myers. You look at that kind of move, but you just start to see all of these deals going down. Patrick Peterson to the Steelers. Zach Allen from Arizona going to Denver. I think that's a big deal. You just look at all of these moves. And again, I know it's crazy, But I don't know that you can. I don't know that you can really sit here and say that you know who the best team in the NFL is, because you still have the entire NFL draft to go through and all of the trades associated with that. I think it's a great time to be a fan of the National Football League, and
100%
I love
agree.
it. I absolutely love all the moves that are being made, and I love Papa Murphy's Pizza. Make sure you use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your double bacon cheddar at Papa Murphy's Pizza.
Fresh out of Papa Murphy's kitchen, the limited time double bacon cheddar pizza.
Actually, it's fresh out of my oven.
Dad, it's just an expression.
Mozzarella, crispy bacon, and Canadian bacon with nacho cheddar cheese sauce. Now that is an expression.
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza, so you can make the pizza great.
In my oven.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Boy, I got to tell you, some folks are upset over our West Virginia takes. I mean, it's amazing to me. When you start talking about somebody's college football team, you can talk about their mama, you can talk about their wife or their kids. They'll just be fine. You bring up that West Virginia's a forgettable program and people lose their minds. And I just don't understand it. Kenneth in the member chat says, maybe you guys should do some basic research about Big 12 before you open your mouths. West Virginia has the highest fan count in the Big 12. To which I say, who cares?
Fans don't matter.
What relevance is how many fans you have?
You were 3-6, 5-7 overall, man.
What does that matter? And then to throw on top of that, Utah would be bottom of the Big 12 in fan size and viewership. They would not, actually. What? But this is what I'm talking about. Why do you have to go after other, like West Virginia has been terrible in recent years.
Yeah.
Why is this debatable?
This take is an emotion-based take. This take is a defensive take, and that's cool. I'm not even coming after you about it. I mean, you know, and again, for all of those who are not sure what we're referencing, we have an Instagram members only chat. You can join $9.99 a month. I'll add you to the chat. Very simple, straightforward. So Kenneth in our members only chat, for whatever reason, said the comments. I'm guessing he wanted this read. That's probably why I put it there. But you know, just being frustrated and upset, and I get it. I understand. You're a Big 12 guy, clearly. West Virginia guy, clearly. Even though your avatar is Texas Tech, like I get it. You're a Big 12 supporter. But what you need to understand is you got to take your emotions out of this. I don't give a damn, to be honest with you. I don't care about the PAC or the Big 12 or any of this. The reason we talk about it is because that's what people want to talk about, because the Pac-12 doesn't have a TV deal yet, and we're trying to figure out, hey, what brands are most valuable in both of these conferences, because a merger, if we're being honest, a merger is probably going to happen at some point. Right? Like, I think generally in the 1,000-foot picture, we can say a merger is probably going to happen at some point. Or maybe not an official merger, but like 4 to 6 schools going to the Big 12 from the PAC. So when we say, hey, West Virginia is not exactly a barn burner in the Big 12, I mean that. The West Virginia is not a college football playoff relevant team. They're not some TV juggernaut. I don't have anything personal against West Virginia. Like, just the same way I'm not a TCU fan, just the same way that I'm not a Kansas basketball fan. But the reality of the situation is West Virginia is West Virginia. They're not some juggernaut, and it's okay to say that. Like, that's where the reason I say your take is emotion-based is because I can tell, like, your defense is not why West Virginia should be relevant. It's, hey, Utah doesn't have any viewers, they'd be a bottom dweller.
That's right.
Which just isn't true. I mean, Utah, you ask ESPN how many fans Utah has, and they can tell you. I mean, they can tell you Utah has a big fan base. And by saying that, I'm not saying West Virginia's got a small fan base. This isn't really a Utah versus West Virginia conversation. It's just a conversation about, hey, West Virginia is not, like, relevant. You haven't been to a major bowl or college football playoff opportunity or anything. So
when's the last time? I mean, it's got to be 5, 6, 7 years back to Holgerson that you've been relevant. I mean, West Virginia, and I guess I I guess I can look it up, but I'm pretty sure like 2014, maybe. Rich Rodriguez left in 27. Bill Stewart, 9-4 every year. Dana Holgerson came in 2011, 10-3, won the Orange Bowl. 7-6, 4-8, 7-6, 8-5. 2016, 10-3. You went to the Russell Bowl, the Russell Athletic Bowl, and lost. And then 7-6, 8-4, 5-7 under Neil Brown, 6-4, 6-7, 5-7. What are we even talking about?
Yeah. So like, instead of like coming after us and saying things like, before you run your mouth about the Big 12, dude, like this isn't like
you haven't been ranked in 5 years.
But this is what I find funny. We're not talking to a West Virginia fan. We're talking to a Texas Tech fan who's dying on the West Virginia hill, which I really just don't understand.
That's crazy to me. Crazy. Yeah, crazy. DL Crosby 888 says West Virginia is basically 500 in the Big 12 the last decade, well above Tech, Iowa State, and Kansas in football. Well, I mean, but is Kansas really a football school?
But this is the problem. You're talking about, and this is why I feel like we need to do some defining here. I'm not talking about how good you've been the last 10 years, right? Even though that's a conversation with West Virginia. What are we talking about? Hey, what's the value of your program today? What's the value if a merger happens?
If a merger between, and the original topic we were talking about today, if you're just tuning into the show, what is with the value of your program is today? If a merger was to happen and you could only make a 12-team conference
Program.
you could make a 12-team conference. That's it.
And let's open up some spots, right? Let's take Texas and Oklahoma out of the picture. Let's take SC and UCLA out of the picture, right? Let's open up some spots here, because I think the conversation isn't whether TCU or Oregon would make the cut. We know they would make the cut, but the conversation is around Iowa State, West Virginia, Kansas.
Because you can't keep them all.
Yeah.
You cannot keep them all.
Exactly.
And if I've got to make a decision today, West Virginia is a very average team. And they're not relevant in basketball. They're not relevant in football right now. They haven't been ranked in 5 years. So, excuse me for saying that West Virginia, I don't think makes the cut, right? I don't think that as an athletic program, I'm proud. Who's in for sure? For certain, TCU, Kansas State, Texas Tech, Baylor, and Kansas are in for sure. Right now, today, right? And in the PAC, who's in for sure? This is where it gets tough, because I think the Pac-12 is a pretty mid-conference right now. I said mid.
Did you just work in the mid reference?
Oregon, Washington, for sure. Utah, Oregon State, for sure. Arizona State, for sure. Those 6 are in, no question about it.
Yeah.
And that might be it right there. That might be the whole kit and caboodle. That might be the whole thing, because if you're taking Kansas, Baylor, Okie State, Texas Tech, K-State, and TCU from the Big 12, right? And then you've got 6 more from the Pac-12, and I think that might be it, because I'm not a guy that's going to fight for Colorado. You want to put a bullet in Colorado's head, knock yourself out, kid. Let's all eat buffalo jerky. I'm good with it, right? But I'll fight for Oregon, Washington, Utah, Oregon State, absolutely, and the Arizona schools. Colorado, Stanford, Cal, Washington State,
Yeah.
I'm good. So that's 12, right? And if we take 4 more to get to 16, I'm absolutely taking Houston and BYU. That's not even a question. And this is where the also-rans come in. So am I going to take Stanford? Let's say Stanford gets whacked. Stanford, Cal, absolutely whacked. Colorado whacked, right? What are you laughing about?
Our boy Kenneth, not to give play-by-play about something you can't see, but, this guy Kenneth, this West Virginia fan, right? The reason we're talking about this again. Kenneth is losing his mind in our Instagram chat. He just got told to go do Google searches and take a darkness retreat, then come back and comment again.
Yeah,
Bro,
I don't.
And I was looking at this too. It's really interesting. West Virginia is the 153rd ranked college in the country, educationally speaking. Utah, and that's for 2023. Utah is ranked 76th. So Utah's a better educational institution, right? They're better on the football field. Basketball is probably close because Utah is not good in basketball. And relevancy, it's not close. That's my thing. If you just want to have a relevancy conversation, Utah's more relevant. This isn't a conversation.
I don't understand the get upset thing. I really, is this what you're fighting for? Mike P., a member of the program, gives us a $5 tip to say, go ahead and take Oregon and Washington out too because they're leaving for the Big Ten. Well, let's see them leave for the Big Ten first. Let's see them leave for the Big Ten first.
Yeah. Right. You're not wrong, but we need to see that officially happen.
But if you look at the teams, I'm telling you, West Virginia is going to have a tough time making the cut.
Yeah, I just think it's tough. And again, I know I say this a lot, but I don't think that we're hating. I don't think that saying that, hey, like West Virginia is going to have a tough time, that's not hating, man. It's not. Like you have to do something other than nothing. Like, again, Iowa State's not making the cut. West Virginia's having a tough time making the cut.
I think Oklahoma State needs to turn it around. Like, what is going on at Oklahoma State that they can't win games on the quarter of the field? Like, I mean, they are
How did you go from being one of the best to one of the most mediocre? How does that happen under the same coach?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Damn.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people living on legacy. Yep. Like Kansas basketball is arguably the best team in the country right now. Mm-hmm. That's not living on legacy. That's winning today.
Yes,
I'm taking Kansas, even though, and we'll see what Leipold does and if they keep going in the right direction. But dude, I don't know why you want to die on the West Virginia hill.
Yeah,
because frankly, for my money, I don't know that it matters.
Yeah,
I don't. Woo!
What are other people saying? Let's get some other opinions in here. Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The Monty Show presented by The Advocates. TheAdvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business are The Advocates, where you never pay them until they win your case. You don't pay for consultation fees. In fact, you can go right on their website, TheAdvocates.com, UtahAdvocates.com, and you can chat with an attorney live 24/7, 365 at no cost. Go right on their website, theadvocates.com. Best in the business, man. I'm telling you, make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Hey, Monty. Jeff Johnson says Niners are actually re-signing Robbie Gould. Thank heavens. We're saved.
Gosh, man.
Jeff is one of those cats that, man, with his teams.
Kick a person when he's down.
By the way, these chairs are remarkably uncomfortable.
They are.
They are remarkably uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because it's garbage.
I love that 49er fans are always like, oh, we're the best no matter what. Hey, you guys went 0-17 last year. Yeah, but we're still the best. We got Robbie Gould back.
It's internal.
I actually think they are the best team in the NFC.
He's a damn good kicker, dude.
Gumby extra regular. Cal is only good at smoking weed.
Hey.
Oregon's academics greater than Cal's. Well, you've clearly been smoking weed.
Yes.
Jeremy Callahan, Oklahoma State has one Big 12 title ever, not a power. I agree.
Yeah, and again, but nobody's saying they're a power. Remember, guys, dude, don't go off the reservation on me. We're having a conversation about your value, right? Hey, if these two conferences merged, man, I didn't think this conversation had this much heat, man. I'm a little surprised, right? Like, if two conferences merge, the PAC and the Big, who's not making the cut? It's a very simple question. And it's not based on, winning a title in 84 or winning one national championship in 2022. It's not based on that. It's based on overall relevancy. And that's why I think some West Virginia fans get a little salty. Right? I think that's why some fans and some groups get salty because they think that their teams are super relevant. It's like, yeah, you're relevant in your town, but are you actually a power? Does ESPN want you? Does Fox want you?
So town versus city, because the town is in your town.
Right.
By the way, Jet Wayman's in. He says he likes Gilmore, but he hates Dallas. By the way, Teddy Wayman, Jet Wayman, is the tile king of Utah. He was in my house today by himself. Jet, did you fart on my pillow? I will be upset.
Hey.
Don't be doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, don't be doing that kind of stuff. Okay, don't give him any ideas. That's a good point. That is a really good point. Did you get your Papa Murphy's certificate, Teddy Wayman? Tile King of Utah. I gave it to the wife of Alma Wayman, the contracting king of Utah, to give to the Tile King of Utah, Teddy Wayman. And Teddy's like, I didn't get it.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, because Elma probably redeemed it.
Yeah, Elma got them balls. Whoa! Teddy says, hey, if you get pink eye, you'll know.
Hey,
thank you.
Hey.
Thank you, Teddy. I appreciate that. Boise is still good. They just aren't great. Yeah. But how much value is in Boise State? This is maybe the perfect example. Ooh. Hey, big boy. How valuable is Boise? How much of a is Boise somebody you're like, oh man, we're the Big 12. We should add Boise State. Maybe they can bring the blue turf with them. Like, are you excited about that?
No. It's San Diego State all over again.
It is.
Neat.
It is.
Okay. Yeah, Boise's done some things. Yes, they have a nice little program working, but you're not a P5. Like, again, we did a short. If you don't watch our shorts, I'd highly recommend you watch our YouTube shorts. They have some nice information in them. We did a short, yesterday or maybe Friday, that talked about how adding a G5 for the Pac-12 isn't expanding. Adding Boise State to the Pac-12, let's say, or even the Big 12, really, because they're you can make an argument. It's not expanding. You're just simply surviving, sort of
You're
trying
existing.
to Band-Aid it, You're
existing.
And that's why I say, you have to be better than that. I don't Boise's got value, but not P5 ESPN value.
All right. Brandon Whitney, the newest member.
Let's go.
Everybody welcome Brandon Whitney to the Monty Show. Brandon, welcome to the program. Appreciate you being here. You guys, too, you can join our membership. The $1.99 membership gets you shouted out. Always get your comment read.
Yes.
The $9.99 membership gets you into our exclusive members-only Instagram chat where we give you the news first that Chris Dunn signed for the rest of the year.
Yes.
Where'd you get that first? You got that in the members-only Instagram chat today. But you get all of that inside information, and you can melt down over Iowa State or West Virginia.
And as you can see, I'm going through some shit right now.
Even if you're a Texas Tech fan, Kenneth, I love you.
It is what it is.
For $9.99 a month, you get access to the group. It's all good. So, Brandon Whitney, my guy, thanks for being on the show. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you very much.
Who's doing some gifting? Can we get some gifting today?
We haven't had gifting in a while.
Yeah, we haven't had it since Friday. Can somebody just gift even one membership, please?
Cyclone Kev says it's not a simple question. Big 12 has had a knife at its throat for years. The scenario is death for many programs. Of course, we're salty. I don't disagree. I feel like it's been overlooked in the day-to-day of college football that the Big 12 has been on death's doorstep many times.
But you're not right now. So set the salt aside, right? Pick up the hot sauce.
But if you're an Iowa State fan, you certainly feel like an afterthought in the Big 12.
Well,
I mean, especially with big BYU coming in and Houston coming in.
But here's my thing with this. Is it untrue that little program can go out?
Wait, you mean the little program that could?
The little program that could. Yeah, the caboose. The little program that could.
Hey, baby. It's a nice caboose. Sorry.
Hey, you start talking shit.
Yeah, I'll stop. Sorry.
Isn't it true, though, that we've had stories of little program go out and get the job done?
Absolutely.
Right? And be relevant and isn't that the essence of March Madness? Isn't that the essence of bracketology? Some random nowhereville school beating Kentucky or some huge D1 P5. So I don't want to hear that Iowa State is salty because they're not relevant. If you want to be relevant, you need to take steps to be relevant. And again, I don't know how we started talking about Iowa State. I don't know how, this became the core school of the program today. But since it is, if you want to be relevant, you have to spend money. To spend money, what do you need to do? Understand how NIL works. Understand how to go and get guys like Prime. You have to understand how to do this stuff to grow your program, because you're never going to compete with, the top of the Big 12. Right? You wouldn't even compete with UCF if you're not going to spend money and do what you need to do.
Alex Chacon says this conversation has turned Bolt Chats into a nightmare.
Hey, don't ask. Listen, we just work here.
Is that true? People are upset in the member chat still?
Yeah, Ty Duke, one of our best members, had to do a fake call in the chat to break up the fight. So, I'm just chilling, bro.
I love her. You guys are great. But this is what sports is supposed to be about. It's not personal, man. but you take it personally, and then we all laugh about it in a week or now, and everything's good. You don't have to get don't get all bent.
Don't you run your mouth about Iowa State.
Yeah.
Don't you run your mouth about West Virginia in the Big 12.
I get it. Jeremy Callahan says, how much value is in Boise? Ask Arlo Pear. Well, okay. Matt Hartley, not enough to save the PAC. Mike P says, pull it out. New members, pull it out.
Yeah, dude. All right. I'll do it just for you guys. Who's doing some gifting? Come on. Do we have any gifting happening yet?
Not that I'm aware of. Not at this time.
Dang.
Not at this time. Brandon Whitney says, can you imagine if we had relegation? Oh, my God. People would lose their minds. Do you guys know what relegation is? Where the top two team or the bottom two teams go down to a lower division. Like in the Big 12, it would be like, okay, so Iowa State and West Virginia, you're now in the Pac-12 because you lost too many games. See what I did there? They're relegated to the Pac. Okay, so anyway, the point is, much like English soccer, you have relegation. I would love it.
You ain't first, you're last.
No, it wouldn't, Echo Rebel. Relegation would not be awful. Stutters, a member of the program. Boise was relevant in the expansion conversation in 2010. Not quite as much anymore. No, because I think we've all moved on from the Cinderella slipper.
Yep.
If we're being honest, I mean, and I know that this is going to tweak some people's probably, dinner plates a little too difficultly in stuff.
Did you just make a dinner plates reference?
I did.
What are you talking about, man?
But you're going to get your teeth in a bunch over the fact that Cincinnati really hurt people like Boise State. Because Cincinnati had a chance, to go to the college football playoff and got blitzed.
Mm-hmm.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
Did Cincinnati belong in? Probably not. Are they in now? Yeah, got them in the Big 12, right? It got him in the
mean? Like Cincinnati was nobody before Fickle rolled up. And then what happened?
Yeah.
Hey, he did some winning and he moved on. That's college football. That can happen for Iowa State or West Virginia.
C. Kaufman says, pull it out, Jake.
Yeah,
You guys. Let's see. DL Crosby 88 says it's Iowa State and Kansas at the bottom over the last decade, not West Virginia. I'm taking Kansas every day.
Yeah, same.
I'm taking Kansas every day over West Virginia because Kansas wins basketball games. Kansas put guys in the NBA. Kansas is constantly in the conversation. Like, with all due respect, West Virginia, especially in football.
Dude, why are we so hard over West Virginia, bro? What is the
fight over West Virginia?
Like why are we obsessing?
I don't know. I don't know, dude. I have no idea. Jeremy Callahan
trying to control their little world.
See, that's what I'm saying. Jeremy Callahan says this is a really good break your potatoes, Boise fans. This is really going to break your potatoes.
See what he did there because it's Idaho, like potato.
I can't read. It's fine. A gift from the heavens, Henry Ginder says. Okay.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
Andrew H. says Utah got a Cinderella slipper because the Longhorn Network existed. Was fifth option then, fifth option now behind Oregon, Washington, and the Arizonas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. I if you said, hey, who's the best on the football field? Well, Utah is. Who's got the most value? I agree with your comment. I think Utah does. I've said this multiple times. Utah does a piss poor job at marketing themselves and in saying, hey, we're Utah. This is what we have. This is what we do. Like, we're really telling their story. They're really bad at it. We've talked about that numerous times on the show.
Stop with the John Denver references about West Virginia. Okay, stop with the stop. Main event, stop it. You are not welcome to reference the dead guy.
Mama hillbillies.
Rocky Mountain High, West Virginia.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I actually think I'm combining two songs there. In fact, intentionally I did that. Do you know who sings those songs?
No.
John Denver.
Oh, shit.
West Virginia. Do you know who John Denver is?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Did you ever see the movie Dear God?
No.
Oh, so good. So good. Bonehead says Mountain Mama. Jeff Johnson says take me home.
Bro, John Denver died in 97. I was born in 93. What do you want me to do?
West Virginia.
Hey, look here, man.
Dude.
What?
Why would I know who John Denver is?
I didn't say you should. I wasn't outraged that you don't know John Denver, but you're the fucking guy who hasn't seen The Godfather. Like, why wouldn't I be outraged? You have zero culture in your bosoms. Why would I be outraged that you have not seen Jaws, any of the Rockies, The Godfather? Oh, but dude, The Ring? Holy cow. Dude.
Hey, man.
Dude.
Some people died in that movie, you know what I mean?
How about that?
I got to tell you, I know line for line. I know the entire script word for word of the Toy Story trilogy. I'm all about Woodies. You know what I'm saying? Why would I expect you to
I'm not playing your little games.
Why would I expect you to know John Denver? I don't. Main Event says I couldn't resist. I know.
No, I know. I appreciate your contribution.
Jeremy Callahan reminds us that you don't know who Lloyd Christmas is. Enough said.
Okay, let's pull out the Google machine. Lloyd.
You still don't know who Lloyd Christmas is.
Christmas.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Buddy's last name is Christmas, dude. Yeah, I know the character. I didn't know that was the character's name.
Oh my
Good Lord, dude.
God. John Denver, are you up there?
Dude, God's not open in the store today, dude.
Mark Hale says Lloyd Christmas referenced John Denver. You know what I'm saying? No, he's not opening the door. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Mike M says we've landed on the moon.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Kurt Myers says gold and blue reporting. The Big Ten wants Washington and Utah, not Oregon. That could absolutely be true.
Could be true, dude.
Could absolutely be true. Is it true? I have no idea. I have no idea. Do I want to know if it's true? I don't. I don't want to know if it's true. And I'll be honest with you. I don't know. Yeah. McKenna Tech Dan says most quoted movie of all time. And you don't know Lloyd. What is your all-time favorite movie? Or excuse me, all-time favorite film?
Probably Gladiator.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I like Gladiator a lot.
Are you only saying that to?
Dark
Are you only
Knight,
saying that to appease me?
Interstellar. Yeah.
Are you only saying Interstellar?
Oh yeah. If you've never seen Interstellar?
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So wait, you're telling me that Interstellar?
Oh yeah, dude. That had huge impact on me, bro. That was a good ass movie.
How did it? Wait a minute. What? Interstellar had a huge impact on you,
dude. That was a good movie.
That's Interstellar with John Travolta.
No,
I know, dude. It's a Jet Wayman, the Tile King of Utah, says, "Bro, Jake, I haven't seen The Godfather either."
Thank you, bro.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God.
Thank you.
Andrew H says gold and blue not credible. Exactly. And Austin Napierski, are you guys ever going to reach out to whoever did your old intro and have them do it again? I don't think the new one fits the show.
Okay,
really?
Let's play it. Let's get a vote.
This is the Monty Show, Utah's biggest sports talk show. When you're ready to talk sports, all you have to do is find the Monty Show. Streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. Now it's time for the best sports talk in Utah, The Monty Show.
What do you mean it doesn't fit the show?
And I'm being serious. I'm not trying to give you crap.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I need some explanation here, bro. What do you not like?
Austin Napierski says, sorry, just tuned in again. Austin, good to see you. Harry Ginder says, good choice. Mark Hale says, you can't triple stamp a double stamp. That's what I'm saying.
What the hell does that even mean?
Exactly.
What does that even
mean,
dude? Like,
the Tile King says Gladiator for me.
That's right.
Bonehead says Caddyshack. This guy thinks Caddyshack is Happy Gilmore. Utah Jizz says Troy.
Nah, Gladiator over Troy, dude.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. Brad Pitt or
it's not even a conversation. Don't even, dude. Brad Pitt doesn't deserve to be in the same conversation as Russell Crowe, dude.
Russell Crowe and Gladiator.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Russell Crowe is a better character.
Is a damn good.
Yeah, I agree. Are you not entertained?
Exactly.
Echo Rebel EX. Exactly right.
Win the crowd, baby.
Gumby Extra Regular. Has Jake seen Blues Brothers?
Yes.
He has, man.
Yes.
I forced him. I sat on his chest and made him watch it. Hands down, Top Gun. No.
The OG Top Gun's a vibe, though.
Top Gun's good. It's not an all-time great movie.
Yeah.
Big Jack 512 says Goodfellas. It's up there. You've never seen Goodfellas. Bob Holsey says most quoted movie of all time, Godfather 1. I don't disagree. Jake wouldn't know. Anyone excited for the Oppenheimer movie? Which Oppenheimer movie? Jeff Johnson, stop with Anchorman. That's a funny movie. That's not a great movie. Come on now. Andrew H. says Interstellar is incredible. Jake is correct. I don't think it sucks. It's just not an incredible,
I think
over-the-top, greatest of all time movie.
Yeah, we're different on that. That was an amazing movie.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay. Henry Ginder says Interstellar is amazing, almost as great as The Godfather. Thank you. Thank you. Still haven't seen Big Lebowski. Again, great movie, not the greatest of all time. Not even in the conversation.
But how does he not catch a bunch of heat for not seeing Big Lebowski? And now I get beat over the head with a ruler because I haven't seen The Godfather.
Okay, guy, The Godfather is.
I mean, what kind of standards do we have?
How can I explain how impactful? I believe that The Godfather makes your pube pro thicker.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm telling you now. I believe that it makes you grow man hair in other places.
Wow,
it's
Dave.
that. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It's The Godfather. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Bobby De Niro.
That's fucking interesting, man.
It's Al.
It's Bobby D.
Bobby's D. Like I'm telling you, it's Pacino. It's Marlon Brando.
Yes, I know they have a great cast. I know.
James Caan.
Yeah.
You know what? You don't even know who James Caan is. James Caan could walk in that door right now. If James Caan walked in that door, would you know who he is?
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
You wouldn't because he's dead. Let's see. Curtis D316. I say things get interesting after the NCAA tournament on expansion. I would agree with that. I think that's when we start seeing.
Yeah, maybe
things
we
move.
get some West Virginia news at that point.
San Diego State. You broke my heart, Fredo. Jake. Do you know what movie that's from?
Dude, why do you...
I know you did it.
The Godfather.
I know you did it. I know he did it. Stephen Harris says the new intro is not very exciting. It needs more pizzazz.
Okay.
McKenna Tech Dan says, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Do you know what movie that's from?
No. Oh.
Wow.
Apologize to that man.
Macho Man says 12 Angry Men. Jeremy Severe says, is that Mrs. Monty's voice on the new intro? It is. Mike P says that intro is Utah version of intro.
What does that even mean?
I don't know what that means. Cougar Tracks. Anything with John Wayne, including a colon full of steak.
Austin's comment. Yeah, Austin, so what, you're saying you're backtracking, or what's the problem here?
The old guy's voice was clearer, and the intro was much more exciting. So we need more energy. It's too
but
low-key.
the next one. Sorry, the next one.
Let's see. I didn't realize that was Mrs. Monty's voice. Oops. No, that's cool. Oh, The Untouchables. Who said The Untouchables? Oh, my God. The Untouchables is amazing. Sorry, I missed that. Interstellar is stellar, Jeremy Callahan says.
I think it's a great movie, dude. I think it's up there for sure.
John Paul Bacon says Smokey and the Bandit, all-time favorite. Do you know who Burt Reynolds is?
No.
Oh, shit.
No, let me ask that question again. Do you know who Burt Reynolds is?
I'm a faces guy, not a names guy. Okay. Let me see if I know this face.
I said Burt Reynolds. Are you kidding me right now? You don't know who Burt Reynolds is?
I think I do. I just need to see his face.
You spelled his name.
Oh, yes,
you
of
said
course.
Butt Reynolds.
No, I didn't.
You did. It
didn't.
corrected you on the previous
whatever.
screen.
Yes, I know who Burt Reynolds is. Yes. I know his face.
Riley O'Brien says the new intro is solid. Bonehead says you don't ever go against the family. Ever.
Look, if you don't like it, I can cut a new intro to like some death metal.
That's
if you like.
That's a line from The Godfather.
I get it.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
get it,
God.
dude. I understand.
Al Pacino, dead or alive?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Al Pacino, dead or alive?
I think he's alive.
No, he's dead.
Okay, cool.
No, he's alive.
Stay hard.
Nate Davis says, Happy Gilmore. Jake's seen it 1,000 times. I did love the old intro, but the new one fits great as well. Bob Holsey says, I'm going to make him an offer he don't refuse.
That's
Jeremy Callahan. I've watched The Thing at least 200 times.
So is that what we're calling it now?
Tim, my thing.
Jackass.
Tim B says, anything Chicago. Untouchables, Night Stalker, Bob Newhart. Untouchables? Have you ever seen The Untouchables?
No.
Oh, it's so good. Kevin Costner, Sean Connery, like... So good. Chicago Gangster.
Untouchables or Rambo? That was a troll job of a lifetime. Oh, I'm proud of that one. That was excellent, dude.
I'm going to drown you in a bowl full of piss. I'm telling you right now.
Everybody is outraged.
I'm telling you right now. Dude, what are you talking about? Rambo. Essay says Untouchables had too much fiction to be good. Oh, there you go. It's not, actually. Okay.
Well,
do you feel better now that you ruined my life?
This has been a great program so far.
Do you? Has it? We're 90 minutes in. Has it?
We've had a West Virginia meltdown. You've told me I'm stupid for like the 800th day in a row. And, you know.
But the question is, that streak is justified, though. Because generally, every day you say something that just makes me look at you and be like, I don't know who you are anymore.
Bro, what are you talking about,
like when you're comparing the Untouchables to Rocky.
Okay, I didn't say Rocky. I said Rambo.
I was just checking. Same thing. Stallone. It's Stallone. And now, by the way,
let me tell you what now.
I'm out of lemonade now.
Casual.
Jake for 2 days in a row. Jake has poured us a nice cold.
Do you want some pink lemonade? I can get you a toe.
I can get you a toe.
Yeah.
Where's that from?
I don't know.
Hey, Claw.
You don't. Why are you being a jerk today?
What else am I supposed to be? Isn't that my role on the show? Right? You say I'm in a bad mood all the time. Isn't that my role on the show, to be a jerk? Shouldn't I hate on West Virginia some more?
Jackass. Did you melt down today? You did.
No.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I just smacked someone at Chiba Hut. It's fine.
All of our football talk on this show is presented by our good friends at the Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com. Our good friend Steve at the Barbecue Pit Stop, great dude. Owns the Lehigh store, but all of our guys at Barbecue Pit Stop, they're all independently owned franchises. They're entrepreneurs. And I'm just telling you, guys like Neville93, a member of the program, went to Barbecue Pit Stop, got himself a Traeger, which is just outstanding.
Yes.
Great job by Neville. You guys, when you go to Barbecue Pit Stop or you even hear Barbecue Pit Stop, you need to think the best equipment in the barbecue business, because it is. There's just no doubt about it.
Facts.
That Barbecue Pit Stop is where you go when you want the very best. And I think that's exactly what you get when you go to Barbecue Pit Stop, whether it's Traeger, Big Green Egg, Yoder. You're getting the best equipment, but I love on their website, they have a little chat feature where you can chat with them directly. They'll answer any questions you have, whether it's, hey, I'm trying to figure out, do I need to let my brisket rest? I just pulled it off the grill.
Yeah.
Hey, do I really need to wrap it in a towel and let it rest in a cooler? Hey, when should I season my wings? How long do I need to let them sit on the counter before I put them on the heat? Before I put them on the flame? Like, they'll answer all those questions for you. Hey, I'm more of a wing guy. Is there a smoker that fits me? Like, how much space on the smoker do I need? Like, how much actual space? What size smoker should I get? Where do cherry pellets fit? Monty says he only uses cherry or competition. Why is that? And they'll tell you, because he's a genius. And we have cherry right here. Come on in to any of our 5 Utah locations, right? Logan, Layton, Lehigh, St. George, the Jeezy, or our friends in Murray on State Street, right across from the mall. Barbecue Pit Stop, the best equipment in the business. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Our guy Neville93 got himself a Traeger. I am stoked for him. Welcome.
Yeah, I know what time it is.
Neville, welcome to the Traeger family. I love it.
I expect to see pictures of wings, bro.
Yes, I expect to see pictures. James Knight says, Monty, give the kid a break. I have underwear older than him.
That's what I'm saying.
And kick a person when he's down.
Yes. Oh, look at everybody bringing up great movies. Kent Holmes says Shawshank.
Oh, yes, dude.
Shawshank.
Big fan.
Nah, Cougar Tracks. I feel like you either love Green Mile or you hate Green Mile. Are you a Green Mile guy or not?
No, I mean it's all right.
You're not a Green Mile guy.
I think that a casual like myself, such as in like, it used to be when I was a kid that I would get Green Mile and Shawshank confused. But once you've watched them independently, you start to understand that Shawshank is just deeper.
Shawshank's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just so good. Yeah,
such a good movie.
Yeah.
Such a good movie. Morgan Freeman, like
you're
the whole
being
nine.
obtuse.
Yes. Carrie Lee says Animal House and National Lampoon's Vacation films. I liked Animal House a lot.
Good. Yeah.
Yep. Andrew H says, give me a break of that Big 12 cash.
Okay.
Break me off a piece of that Big 12 cash. Nate Davis says Utah is going to the Big 12. I don't think they're going to the Big 10. Listen, I think Utah can compete anywhere they are. Anybody that tells you that the Big 10 doesn't want Oregon or Washington, I think just doesn't know what they're talking about.
Up in the night.
And I love Utah. You know, I'm a Pac-12 supporter. But I'm telling you now that the value that you get from Washington and Oregon regionally, travel partners, branding, larger markets, larger pools of cash. Pick what you want to call it. Go for it. Whether you want the entire state of Oregon, Portland, Eugene, great home field advantage, Autzen Stadium's amazing, Nike money, there's all kinds of things to like about Oregon. Whether you want Seattle, whether you want great football, there's all kinds of things to like about Washington. And there's all kinds of things to like about Utah. But frankly speaking, I think the money is greater with Oregon and Washington.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with winning games. If it was all about winning games, you'd be taking Utah every single day over just about anybody.
Y'all feel me?
Point blank. You'd be taking Utah. Does Oregon beat Utah? Yes. Does Utah beat Oregon? Yes, they do. I think they're two very close football programs.
Yes.
I don't think there's a better coach in the country than Kyle Whittingham. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that because you're in the Pac-12 and Utah doesn't market itself.
Right.
But by the way, all of this to say, I don't believe that Utah wants to leave the Pac-12.
Yeah.
I think that Utah is happy to do whatever they can do.
Okay. So that's how it's going to be.
I think they're happy to do whatever they can do to make the Big 12 survive. That's just my opinion.
To make the Pac-12 survive.
I think it is that they, but this is just me. Look at Chris Karn, the original member of the show.
Yeah, the OG.
Sending me an article about even more Jack in the Boxes opening up in Utah.
Oh, he's commenting about it too.
Hey, I don't need all that, but I can't wait.
I want my number 7 with 2 tacos.
No, number 6.
6, 7, same thing. It's bacon or not bacon. But I know we don't eat bacon on this show.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Well, we don't eat bacon anymore.
Arlington Bear says, guys, Jack in the Box has finally announced the Saratoga Springs location. Let's go.
Hey, guys.
By the way, they also announced the South Jordan location.
Yeah.
Those of us in the Sojo.
Me?
I'm totally stoked about that. SA says, Five Guys just opened a mile from my house, dude.
Where you at, SA?
Yeah, SA, where do you live? I'm telling you right now, Five Guys has the best fries, period.
Yeah.
But Five Guys is above. Jack in the Box is fast food. Like drive-through.
Jack in the Box is the Lambo of drive-through fast food.
Drive-through, get a heart attack, get some cholesterol into the arteries. That's what you get there. At Five Guys, you have to walk inside to get heart disease. You can't stay in your car to get heart disease. So you walk it off a little more before you
Think that's HIPAA?
Okay.
And stuff.
Glad we established that.
Gumby Extra Regular says number 7, 2 tacos and a Diet Coke.
Damn right.
I always love that people are like, yeah, man, I'll take a number 7. Hey, can I get would you like that medium or large? Large, but can you make it a Diet Coke? I'm trying to watch my sugar. I love that. Just get full sugar Coke, dude. What are we talking about? I again was explaining to somebody the other day that I haven't had a soda.
Oh my God, it's been how long,
since
dude?
2012.
Yeah.
2012.
I've had soda since then, but I don't drink it on the regular.
I have not had a drop of soda since 2012.
I can't think of the last time I had soda. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I've had lemonade. I've had, it
was on a Sunday afternoon at about 3:00 at McCovey's.
Walnut Creek.
And we had just come home from a Giants game.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Jeremy Callahan says Five Guys don't have cracked tacos. Listen, the tacos at Jack in the Box are amazing.
Yes. Big fan.
They are. Now we're doing food now. Where did this show go today?
Bro, guys, stay focused.
We haven't even gotten to Kevin Garnett ripping the Lakers. We have not gotten to Chris Dunn signing a contract with the Jazz for the rest of the year. We haven't gotten to the fact
people don't want to hear about Chris Dunn. They want to hear about their 2 tacos in an ultimate cheeseburger. That's what they want.
San Diego State Glenn says, Monty, if you can't tell me who Rodney Allen Rippey is, leave Jake alone. Why do I know? I probably shouldn't be looking this up. Rodney Allen Rippey. I know Rodney. Why do I know? Hold on.
Oh, how do you not know this name? How do you not know this name?
I do know. I do know.
I know his face.
Yeah, I can't remember the Blazing Saddles. I can never remember the name Blazing Saddles. And I don't know why. Blazing Saddles. That's why. So
Man,
that's
that movie
where I
would
know.
Get torched in today's day.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? You can't do that. And that's right. He was in Jack in the Box commercials. That's right. That's exactly right. I remember that. Yeah. That movie, Blazing Saddles, is such a great movie. I can never remember the name of that movie. You know, some things just won't hit. And you're like, okay, the synapses aren't firing.
Stay hard.
And then you're like, oh yeah, Blazing Saddles.
Facial recognition.
Right. I see that name, Rodney Allen Rippey, and I'm like, Blazing
Facial
Saddles.
recognition.
Exactly. Exactly right. Jet Wayman says using the coupon right now at Papa Murphy's. Let's go.
Dude, picture it didn't happen, bro. I want to see what you get.
Yeah, show
bro.
us what you got.
What are we hooking up here?
Mark Hales says, come on, Monty, you should know all black and white silent picture stars. Exactly. Exactly right. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, come on. Let's 7 new members today.
Bro,
What
have
am I missing?
Have you been sleeping on members, bro?
Yeah, what am I missing?
What the hell
Am
is
I
going on
missing?
here?
There you go.
go.
Dan, McKenna Tech Dan gifted 5 memberships.
That means we're still missing 2 people.
That's what happened. Let's see. Echo Rebel EX. Welcome to the membership of the channel. Curtis D316.
D.
Curtis D. You can't make this up. Welcome. Yeah, who's the other one I'm missing now? Travis Hinton. Way to go, Travis. Welcome to the membership. Appreciate you. Awesome. Let's see. I feel terrible. I'm clearly missing somebody else. If you joined and I missed you, I apologize. It did not
show it.
It did not. Jeremy Callahan says, McKenna Tech Dan, Tropic Thunder is so insane. Tropic Thunder was a great movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. Jet Wayman, the Tile King of Utah, says, welcome to all of you newbies. Exactly right. Let's see. Jeremy Callahan says, will that Papa Murphy's coupon work at any Papa Murphy's? Give it a shot, dude. Tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. If it doesn't, they'll give you a discount. Yeah. They absolutely, all the time. Capazzo, what's up, Louis Capazzo? Where you been, my guy? Spaceballs, Strange Brew, and Blazing Saddles, best movie ever. Well, again, I'm telling you, Blazing Saddles, I agree with you, Jake. People would get arrested and there'd be riots.
I'm going to get medieval on your ass.
But like the irony and the joking and the racial double entendres and where are the white women at and all of those kinds of lines from Spaceballs and Blazing Saddles and Mel Brooks, and we don't have the sense of humor that's required to laugh at that stuff today. We just don't, right? Like you look at Saturday Night Live with Colin Jost and Michael Che, and you look at how they go back and forth on racial issues and
bro, what are you talking about, man?
People even get upset over that stuff, and it's like we sometimes in our society today. And I think we would all do well with this. And Mrs. Monty always smacks me in the face about this.
Venom and vitriol.
Sometimes you just have to laugh at stuff. Sometimes you can't get so pissed about everything.
Physiologically, it's a non-starter.
You can't be looking for a fight constantly. And I think that totally honest, that's something that I've had to learn. Sometimes it's better to say nothing at all than say just a little bit.
Say it!
No, don't say it. Don't say it. I'm telling you not to say it. But, hey, Cam Harrison, my guy. Good to see you again, dude.
What's up, Cam?
I already read that one. Let's see. Todd Schroeder, who's a member, says, so what would you like to do? We can all play chess or screw it. Let's play chess. Okay.
It vexes me.
Okay. Another Cam Harrison. Hello. John Paul Bacon says another way overpriced fast food chain, California Burrito. You know what? I haven't been to a California burrito. A California Pizza Kitchen, way overrated.
Way overpriced.
But you know what I want to try while we're here? And Mrs. Monty chained me to a pipe in the basement of our rental last night so I could not go get some acai.
Did she really?
Yeah. Yes, she did. And then when she was walking out, she spit on me and donkey kicked me in the face.
Damn.
It was really brutal.
Man, she torched you, bro.
I don't know why I said that.
Torched you, bro.
But I wanted acai so bad. And then today, I will tell you, for all my Arizona people, we had Chiba Hut for lunch. And the food was pretty good. The service was terrible.
I will chain you to a pipe.
But, thank you. But I just have gotten to this place where I'm not so excited about eating out anymore. That's...
Yeah, because we always get poor service, whether you're throwing breakfast sandwiches out the window or they can't get a cookie in a bag. Like, it just is terrible.
It's really
brutal,
frustrating.
dude. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, because again, just like you said, the food wasn't the issue. I smashed the sandwich. Chiba Hut is incredible. Like, I would take Chiba Hut over any other sandwich chain. And I'm talking Jersey Mike's, Subway.
Whoa, those are fighting words.
Dude, I would take Chiba Hut. But the problem is their service is very average.
But I was supposed to have a chicken parm sandwich from Chiba Hut today. And what did I get? I got lettuce and tomato on a chicken parm.
That's enough of that crap.
Like, I understand you guys are all like named after weed, but how much did you smoke before you tried to make that sandwich, bro? How do you screw up a chicken parm sandwich?
It's garbage.
Like, put the chicken.
It's pretty tough to screw up.
Put the sauce, put the parm, good to go. Toast the bun.
Yeah.
Then go smoke some dubage.
Pretty tough to screw up a chicken parm.
Yep, I agree. Austin Napierski says people are soft these days. Mike, I agree. Can't take a joke. Totally. Absolutely. Mike M says younger Americans don't seem to get sarcasm very well. At all. At all. You just, and it's really unfortunate. And Donut says, donkey kick ya? Where are you in Tijuana? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, apparently, dude.
I will downsize your face with a shovel.
Mrs. Monty's violent. I mean, she has,
Having fun is the name of the game.
She does enjoy it, though. I don't know. She's sitting 10 feet away. That's why I'm saying that. But I wanted acai. And she wasn't having that.
Nope.
Mainly because it took all night to upload our highlight videos yesterday. Let's see. Nate Davis says, wow, the Jazz sucked last night. Can we talk about it? Yeah, we probably shouldn't. How about we talk Jazz in 9 minutes on the Monty Show? Right now, though, 10 to the hour, every hour on the Monty program. It is Football at 50, presented by Papa Murphy's Pizza. Use the promo code Monty to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Get the meatball marinara. If you guys, and I know it's Tuesday night, a lot of people are going Papa Murphy's tonight. Get the meatball marinara. Just take my word for it. You will thank me. It is so good, the meatball marinara at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Okay, the day we've all been waiting for. Aaron Rodgers will appear on the Pat McAfee Show tomorrow
PMS.
At 1 Eastern. And the anticipation is that he will make his decision known. Obviously, he's going to the Jets, right?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, did we wake you?
Why you gotta do that?
Do what?
You don't ever yawn?
Never. Sometimes. I think he's getting traded to the Jets.
Yeah.
He's going to say he wants to play for the Jets.
Yeah, I don't even want to verbalize it as he's getting traded. Aaron Rodgers is packing his bag and going to New York, and the Packers are just along for the ride, right? Like, that's what this feels like. It's not, oh man, Aaron got traded. It's the end of an era in Green Bay, and man, it's been such a nice ride, and they're going to hang his jersey up at the rafters, they're going to bury his jersey so he can do a darkness retreat with it whenever he wants. Like it's not like that with Aaron Rodgers. It's, oh, thank God we're moving on. We should have done this like 5 years ago. That's what it's like, and that's the unfortunate part. And I think, for Green Bay fan, like, I'm not a Packer fan at all, but if I'm you, I'm celebrating this day. I'm ready. It's time to move on. It's time to find your next guy. It's time to find the next face of the franchise, and I don't think it's Jordan Love, but he's going to get a chance to screw it up. That's just what the NFL does. So, to me, you're going to go on PMS, you're going to announce the trade to the Jets, and we're going to move on with our life, and then we can stop talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Is he worth all of this, though? I think that's the question that I haven't wrapped my head around, and I don't think he is. I really don't. I think that Aaron Rodgers, and if we're being really honest, Aaron Rodgers is a fantastic regular season quarterback.
Yeah.
I think he has MVP caliber play left in the tank.
Yeah.
But the drama's too much.
Yes.
Like every summer it's, well, you know what? Beg me not to retire. Guys, go ahead. Call me like 10 times. I've only gotten 6 calls asking me not to retire. So that tells me you don't want me here.
Yes.
Like that's who Aaron Rodgers is. That's what I can't do.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem when we talk about his legacy. People are going to remember him for the issues he caused, not the regular, pretty consistent, winning by NFL standards. And when I say winning, obviously not Super Bowls, but I think being in the playoffs all the time, he's a pretty good quarterback. He just hasn't done enough.
But
in
what
my
is
opinion,
that
to be a
worth
legend.
anymore? What is that worth anymore?
Yeah, not a lot.
Like, because I don't know, if you look at the teams that are truly elite franchises.
Mm-hmm.
When I say elite franchise in the NFL, who do you think of?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes.
That's it. There's not another elite franchise. I
think Buffalo's pretty good.
No.
I think as far as running a franchise, and I think and what do they have? They have a rock solid quarterback in Josh Allen. Is he Super Bowl good? Not yet, he's not. But if you look across the NFL, and again, I need to look no farther than the Chicago Bears. Never have a quarterback. Don't have a quarterback now. I look at this situation in Baltimore, and I'm beginning to vacillate back and forth on Lamar Jackson. Like, did Lamar Jackson screw this up in Baltimore? He clearly overvalued himself because all these other teams have picked up quarterbacks and Lamar Jackson's not changed teams.
Correct.
He's going to wind up signing that tag for $32 million this year and next year. And who knows what the tag next year is going to be worth? Probably somewhere higher than $32 million.
Yeah.
But can we really sit here and say that this is the Baltimore Ravens' fault? I mean, part of it has to be, right? Because they didn't lock him up. They didn't make him feel loved. Okay, great.
Right.
Part of it is that Lamar Jackson doesn't have an agent. Lamar Jackson doesn't understand the quarterback market, and Lamar Jackson can't really throw a football and win you a game.
Correct. So
I don't know who's more at fault. My guess is it is more likely Lamar Jackson's overvaluing of himself. Because as I've said on the show 1,000 times, I'm not paying Lamar Jackson $50 million guaranteed.
No, and I think that's the problem. And in my, I guess maybe this speaks to where I'm at on Aaron Rodgers. I'd rather be in the Lamar Jackson situation than the Aaron Rodgers situation. Honestly, Lamar Jackson has taken you to the playoffs good. He's shown that. He's proved that. Now, winning in the playoffs is different, but at least you're getting there. Aaron Rodgers hasn't won in the playoffs either. And that's why I say, who would you rather have? Because I'll take 5 more years of Lamar in Baltimore. I will. Now, I'm not paying you $50 million a year to do that. We can meet in the middle at 35, 38. Okay. But you're not getting 50. And if you don't like that, then we're it's the same. Again, these two are very similar. The only difference is Lamar's probably got 10, 12 more years in the league if he really does it right. Whereas Aaron's on his way out. That's the difference. And I don't think Rodgers sees it that way.
Will Green Bay miss Aaron Rodgers? Well, almost certainly. I think Jordan Love is capable. Is he that dude? I don't know.
I think it's unfair to ask Jordan Love to try to measure up to Aaron, dude.
But fair or unfair, that's the job. You're replacing a legend.
Yeah.
Right? Aaron Rodgers did that with Favre in his thumb, and it turned out pretty well for him, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, he's going to make $59 million. Some idiot's going to pay Aaron Rodgers $59 million this year.
Yeah, in New York. Yep.
Right? So it's fair or unfair. That's what it is. That's reality.
Yeah.
So I don't know that fair or unfair is the way that I would go about it, but I would certainly tell you what is fair. Is that you've got to get the marinara meatballs from Papa Murphy's, and you've got to use the promo code Monty25 when you do it to save yourself 25% off of your order of $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza.
At Papa Murphy's, we do more than just pizza. We do meatballs and marinara.
Papa Murphy's does meatballs?
Oh, I think you mean I do the meatballs and marinara?
And how do you do it, Dad?
How do I do it?
Well, we do it with savory ground beef covered
in tangy marinara. That's how, honey.
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza.
And don't forget the meatballs.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Tad Schroeder, who's a member of the program, says Lamar thinks he's the best QB on the NFL because he got an MVP. He's not. Agree. Never pay $50 million for someone that gets hurt and can't throw. And
Congratulations, but that's bullshit.
I mean, he is a dynamic performer. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But you're out of the pocket that much. You are injury prone, and worse off than that. I don't know that you were injured this year, but I know you didn't play.
I think that's HIPAA.
I mean, truth be told,
Totally agree, man.
there's a lot of people who don't believe he was hurt enough to not be able to play, and he didn't want to play because he didn't want to risk his money.
I agree with that 100%. And I don't blame him for that, to be clear. I don't blame him for that. I think that's the right decision.
That's a problem. That's a problem. I need my quarterback to play.
It's not a problem if the locker room agrees with Lamar. If the players are behind him, it's not a problem. It's a problem for the front office, but it's not a problem for Lamar because, again, players want to get paid. Again, and I think that's a really crucial sort of perspective on the whole Lamar conversation. You need to understand that
I agree with.
That there's two sides to it, right?
Yes.
Like you have the front office, the GM viewpoint, which says, hey, you need to lay your body out and give everything to this organization if you want that kind of money. But it's like if you haven't signed the deal and you're playing on one leg, what did he have, a ankle issue, I think it was? He had that injury, but most people, like you were saying, believe that he was basically healthy and just not playing. And you understand that. I think he did a pretty good job, and maybe the organization deserves credit too. They did a good job of keeping it under wraps if he did indeed essentially hold out without the media knowing. But I just think you have to understand the locker room is on his side. They want him back in the room. They want him to be their quarterback. And you have to understand that plays a huge role.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Listener of the day, award-winning, brilliant, dynamic brain power. I don't know what you look like. I mean, you're not as good looking as me, but I'm sure you're a fine-looking fellow. Devin Pohl, a member of the program, says, y'all, can we talk about the Bears?
What do you want to talk about, dude? They're building a stadium on a pile of crap.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Excuse me. Fake news.
Fake news. No, they are built. It's not fake news. It's not fake news at the Chicago Bears.
Excuse me. Dude.
Are you done?
Sorry, my bad. Sorry.
See, you always like to slander teams that I believe are doing things well. You will not slander my Chicago Bears.
No.
Because you look at the moves that this team has made, especially on defense, Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards. I mean, you look at just those two pickups on their own.
Mm-hmm.
I think you are in fantastic shape. I think it's going to be very interesting to see who they draft. But it's also very interesting to me to see that now the world is kind of your oyster. At 9, you're probably winding up on offensive line, probably the best tackle available to you, and I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that. But I look at this team now, the question about the Chicago Bears is Justin Fields. And I'm telling you, Justin Fields ain't that guy. And until he shows me that his first, second, and third options are to throw the football, he's not that guy. And he is always going to make spectacular plays with his legs. I agree that in the second half of last year, he played far better quarterback. I think he threw the ball much better. But let's not sit here and pretend that this is a capable, willing quarterback.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Because he's not. And I'm not saying he's a buster. It was a mistake. Would I rather have CJ Stroud? No, probably not. I'd probably rather have Justin Fields. Now, would I rather have Bryce Young? Yeah, I would.
Keep it real.
Yeah, I would. I absolutely would. And I think it's absolutely correct that the Bears have made very good moves.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears have spent money. And when I look at the moves that they have made, I like DeMarcus Walker a lot. Again, I think because I'm on the team as well, we got much better across the defensive front seven, which this team needed, right? But let's not also forget that now you have got to spend money and you have got to improve your offensive line.
Yeah, I think that to me is the thing. If you trade down and then you don't go offensive line, I don't like the trade down, right? I don't like the deal to trade out if you're not going offensive line.
Well, I will say DJ Moore obviously helps you a lot. There's just no doubt about that. But you have got to find a way to protect Justin Fields.
Yeah. Because
he's another guy that at Georgia, at Ohio State, and now at the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
He's had some injury issues.
What do you bench?
And it's because he's an athletic guy that plays outside the pocket.
Do you even lift?
Guys get hurt in the pocket too. Look at the sex machine, Justin Herbert. Absolutely gets hurt in the pocket.
I'll drop that motherfucker.
I'd rather have a guy get hurt trying to throw me a dime piece than I would trying to run me a 60-yard touchdown that's just unnecessary.
Agreed.
Because I'm a firm believer when we're talking NFL quarterbacks, you are on borrowed time when you're outside the pocket because you have linebackers that are as big as defensive linemen used to be, and they're running like safeties.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Max Tooley. Max Tooley's a linebacker that runs like a defensive back.
Yeah.
Look at a guy like Brant Keithy, who's a tight end that runs like a wide receiver. The athlete is different. When you're outside the pocket and you have linebackers that are running like safeties, and you're going to get popped. And I look at guys like Jimmy Garoppolo. Good luck in Oakland. Now we move to Las Vegas, but we're still the LA Raiders. Hey, man, that's cool. How many games does Jimmy Garoppolo play?
Some shit happened.
And I just keep going back to this question of how do NFL teams screw up the quarterback spot so regularly? How are you who's the team with the New England Patriots? Where's Teddy Wayman when you need him?
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you the New England Patriots? You actually, in my opinion, make a good decision on Mac Jones. And then you hire 2 defensive coordinators to run your offense?
Yeah, I like football season and all the things that go with it.
And you don't have a great offensive line, and you are questionable at wide receiver?
Listen, we're in a strange time.
What are we doing? Oh, that's right. You were built on Tom Brady. Okay. Like, what are we doing? How is it that if you go through the NFL, the Packers are making a terrible mistake at the quarterback position. The Bears are making a questionable decision at quarterback. The Lions are making questionable decisions at quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? The Rams are trying to trade Matthew Stafford. Now, that's not questionable because he won a Super Bowl for them.
You know.
But, I mean, how are you the LA Chargers and you keep buying defense? And Austin Eckler's out looking for a trade. You have arguably the best young quarterback in football. And he has few weapons and his protection is questionable.
Hey, guys.
How?
Because you don't prioritize it.
How? How are you the Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow and you're letting one of your better offensive linemen walk away? What do you think? You're just going to replace that fat ass in the draft? Because you're not doing that.
Arrowhead my ass!
Right? Like, you're not doing that.
Yep.
You're not doing it. But I look at Patrick Mahomes. He's got all kinds of weapons. How's Tyreek Hill been in Miami? Well, not great. And why is that? Because he's got Tua Tagovailoa, and now, right? Like, you just see how all of this is playing out. The teams that invest in offensive line keep their quarterbacks healthy. The teams that invest in defense wind up with quarterbacks limping around in the Super Bowl.
Dak Prescott.
Dak's an interesting question. Is Dak the problem, or is it that the wide receivers have balls hit their hands? Like, I mean, Dak Prescott had one of the worst Dallas Cowboy quarterback seasons in some time. Now, how much of that was his fault? Well, okay.
Half.
Half of his interceptions. If he'd have thrown 7 interceptions, 8, let's call it 8. Because he threw 15 picks. Let's call it 8.
It's garbage.
If he had lopped off 6 of those, would you have been happy with that?
Yeah.
I think you probably would have been.
I want it.
Right? I just...
Yeah. There's no doubt they would have been. Yeah, they would have been.
I'm telling you, there are so many teams in the National Football League. And I mean, just go up and down the list. I mean, the Tennessee Titans.
Dude. Yeah.
Look at the Atlanta Falcons. I'm sorry. Did you say Marcus Mariota was your quarterback last year?
Yeah, next question.
Screw you. You got what you deserved, right? Ryan Tannehill is good, not great. How many years are you going to have Ryan Tannehill as your starting quarterback and you've done nothing behind him?
Lover boy.
You have nothing behind him.
Nothing.
Now Ryan Tannehill is going to be your quarterback again. You're going to do the same thing over again, and you're going to expect a different result, only the result's going to be the same or worse. So, and now you're trying to trade Derrick Henry. So is it the quarterback or the running back? Oh, you spent too much money on Ezekiel Elliott. So now is it Dak Prescott or Ezekiel Elliott? Oh, you spent too much money on Russell Wilson, and now you've got to do all this.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
The Denver Broncos, what did they invest in? Offensive line.
You fucking donkey.
Offensive line.
Yeah.
But I think it was ESPN brought up Ryan Leaf made a really good point.
Ryan Leaf.
The mental coach that Russell Wilson has worked with his entire career died of a brain tumor last year, before last season. The last season in Denver was the first season that Russell Wilson didn't have this mental guru with him.
You know.
And look what happened. Now, does he recover after a year? Hopefully. But they bought offensive line.
Does he move down to the locker room?
Probably. But you bought offensive line. You have really good wide receiver talent as long as they're there, because there's some thought they'll trade Judy. But I'm telling you, if you are going to invest in quarterbacks, and again, look across the league, if you're the New York freaking Jets and you're going to go buy Aaron Rodgers for $59 million.
Hell no.
Please spend money on the offensive line.
Please.
Go and get Alan Lazard like you did today.
Please.
Because it's make or break now. That's what this is.
Yes.
That's what this is.
100%.
It is make or break. It's make or break. Jet Wayman says, please trade Henry to the Patriots. Well, how much better would Mac Jones be?
Much better.
With King Henry in the backfield. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Jeremy Callahan, can we use the mentions of Mahomes to segue back into Texas Tech, West Virginia thing? Please, God.
Oh, that's the wrong button. My bad.
That's the wrong button. But what we can do is segue back into our good friends at Bucked Up Energy.
Yeah.
After you hit the like button, please give us a thumbs up, you guys. We've had over 2,000 views on the show today. We only have 71 likes.
Come on,
you guys. Let's go. Thumbs up on the show today, please. Let's roll. All 160 of you watching the show, hook it up. That would be amazing. As would clicking the link below. It really helps our show if you guys go click the link below and get yourself some free samples of Bucked Up. You get 3 free samples of any kind that you want. And again, I'm telling you, you get the best shaker cup in the business for free when you click the link. Oh, you need some BCAs? Oh, you need some pre-workout? BuckedUp.com. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% off. You can also go into any Bucked Up store in the great state of Utah. The promo code is only for online shopping. In the store, you're going to get a free can of Bucked Up Energy. When you say, hey, I heard about you on the Monty Show, I want my free can of Bucked Up Energy.
Y'all feel me?
Boom, done. Done.
Yeah, Miami. Mango Tango.
But don't take our word for it. Click the link to get the 3 free samples in the shaker cup. And I'll show you this shaker. I do this all the time, and people think I'm crazy. Look at the way this shaker is built, you guys. Look at that. The blender ball thingamajiggers stay on the post that's attached to the cap, so they don't fall down the garbage disposal. They don't fall into the bottom of your stupid dishwasher for me.
Who puts them in the garbage disposal?
This guy. I do it all the time. I freely admit that I'm the guy that does it.
Not anymore.
But not anymore. Thank you. Because I went to Bucked Up. I got my Bucked Up shaker cup, and I got my free samples. They're amazing. Hook it up right now. Make sure you tell them you heard about it. On the Monty Show, again, the link for the free samples is below. So a lot of people ask us every day, and I guess we do it every day. What is the latest on the Big 12, Pac-12 expansion, and what will the next TV deal look like? Well, I think it matters.
It does.
More and more as time goes on.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt that it's ESPN and Amazon. But one of the things that really came true, and I wonder how many people in here are fans of Major League Soccer. What role do you see Apple TV playing in sports in the future? Because so far, and what are we, 2 games into the season, I think Apple TV has been an abject failure for MLS. Nobody is watching. I think when you look at the numbers that came out on Live Golf on the CW, nobody's watching.
Because it's garbage.
How important do you think Apple TV is in the future of sports?
Yeah, I mean, I can't sit here today and say it's ultra important. I think that Apple TV is on the outside looking in because they're not an integral part of a sports, fans' experience. I mean, again, we're not sitting here saying I grew up on ESPN or, I grew up on Apple TV. I grew up on ESPN, not Apple TV, right? Like, Apple TV isn't known for some outrageous coverage of F1 or some amazing coverage of the Masters, right? Like, that's not what they do. They have MLS and then they make TV shows. That's what they do. And I'm an Apple guy. I mean, we've got a bunch of Apple products here. Like, you guys know that. We're an Apple family here. But I'm not an Apple TV guy. And I think that Apple TV just it's not there yet. They need to continue to add other content because you can't just have MLS and then be like, oh yeah, hey, we're a mainstay player in space. Well, you're not. It's ESPN and then it's everybody else. And frankly, I think ESPN understands that, and we've talked so much about how ESPN views Amazon, which is not as a competitor, but but as a player in the space in a different area of the sandbox, if you will.
Yep.
And that's why I think ESPN is brilliant, and that's why I think ESPN is not worried about Apple TV. They're just not. They're not stressing about it because Apple TV isn't showing progress. And again, this has nothing to do with MLS, because if it was MLS and people just didn't enjoy the product, let's say, you'd have seen that fall off on TV. You'd have seen that before Apple happened, but it's not about MLS.
Man, I think Apple and MLS has been a nightmare so far. I do. I don't know, and I'm not trying to go Kleavcock on you here, but I don't know anybody that I've talked to who has easily adjusted to MLS on Apple TV.
Because it's garbage.
I don't. And I think one of the things that they're really lacking is local broadcasters. And I think it's been a huge problem because you're in this situation where, like, we're driving home from the Grizzlies game the other night, listening to David James on KSL call Real Salt Lake's match. And it was uncomfortable to listen to. You're putting TV broadcasters, and David James was great on TV. He was great on TV here in Salt Lake City. David James did the TV call of RSL soccer, and he was really good at it. He's awful as a radio guy. Mm-hmm. It's a totally different skill set, and that's not a knock on David James. He's just not a radio play-by-play guy.
I'm going to say this again.
Bill Riley's a radio play-by-play guy.
Yeah.
And Bill Riley was fantastic on the radio. That's who I'm missing. And so it makes it hard for me to listen to it on the radio. And I am not paying for Apple TV so I can watch MLS soccer. I'm just not.
Yes.
And as a Premier League fan, I already pay to support Chelsea Football Club. I am a member of the Supporters Trust. Like, I have money invested in my soccer club at Chelsea. I am not paying to watch MLS on Apple TV. And this to say, I worry about this same problem with Pac-12 football. Because I think you're going to be lucky to get 3 games on the broadcast slate every week in the Pac-12. Yeah. I think you're only going to be guaranteed 2. One on Amazon and one on ESPN. And so now the question becomes, hey, what's going to happen if you only get 2 games a week broadcast?
Can you do something for me?
This year you're going to have 6 games. So your games are going to be broadcasted. A year from now, you're only going to have 10 teams. I would guess you're only going to have 10 teams. You're going to have 5 games a week, and 2 of them are going to be on TV.
Yeah.
This is the other problem when we talk about Pac-12 expansion. If you expand, and let's say it is SMU and San Diego State, now you're going to have 6 games a week, but that doesn't mean you're getting more games on TV. You're still probably only getting 2, and maybe a third, depending on inventory availability.
Yep.
So I really don't think that this solves. Adding Apple to this equation solves nothing.
Yeah, I mean, what solves something is them coming in-house and producing their own content like they should have done from the beginning. I mean, that ultimately is the answer, but they don't want to do that. And for the life of me, I don't understand it. To me,
everything that I've heard and that we've heard suggests that George Kliavkoff just believes they can't do it. And it's not a can't do it thing. There are people on planet Earth that know how to do this for you. All you have to do is say, here's what I want. How much is it going to cost? That's the problem. That's all you have to do. I mean, also, like, I don't mean to make it sound so simple, but isn't that literally what it is? Like, George Kliavkoff isn't the guy drinking his, 50-ounce cup of coffee, producing some Pac-12 after dark game. He's not that guy. He's the guy cutting the check to that guy.
But again, if I go back to MLS on Apple TV, and let's say you don't subscribe to Apple TV, it's $15 a month and $99 a year.
Yeah.
Let's say you do subscribe to Apple TV. You still have to pay $13 a month and $79 a year to watch MLS soccer. What sense does that make?
Not doing it.
What sense does that make? And I know that there are discounts that you can get with T-Mobile or whatever, but what sense does it make?
But we have a bunch of that in our world. There's discounts for this, like, hey, sign up for this credit card, get discounts here. Like,
you get the Athletic with the New York Times, or you get Paramount Plus, or you get ins. Like I'm a Amex customer, so I get Paramount Plus free.
Schemers trying to control their little worlds.
But I'm not going out of my way to pay for Apple TV. I just cannot see doing it.
Yeah.
I can't see doing it. And again, really in soccer, a lot of it is I already spend, a couple $100 a year on Chelsea Football Club. So I'm good. And it's a Premier League club, and I watch pretty much every match.
But if Premier League announced they were going to Apple, you would do that.
I would do that. But what's the issue with MLS? MLS soccer's not good. So I go back to, like, I look at Pac-12 football. If Pac-12 football sucks, if Pac-12 football is not good, if I've got 6 games a week and one of them is relevant, after expansion, let's say San Diego State and SMU, is San Diego State versus Washington State moving the needle?
Because it's garbage.
Well, maybe on the Palouse and maybe in San Diego, but is Jimmy the AP voter in Michigan? Or is the idiot soccer writer who has an AP vote in Minnesota, is he going to watch San Diego State and Washington State? No, he's not. So it doesn't matter if the game is good.
Correct.
It doesn't matter if the on-field product is good. San Diego State versus Washington State ain't moving the needle. SMU versus Cal? Who the hell is going to watch SMU versus Cal? Who's going to watch that? That's the major problem. That's the big consideration. We're talking about the value of American dollars when, and everybody wants to point today to the Meta layoff where they announced they're laying off 10,000 more workers.
Right.
But what has that got to do with the economy? Almost nothing.
Code 10 abort.
Almost nothing. And everybody's talking about, the economy and American workers can't afford. We've never had more people employed than we have right now. So I don't necessarily believe that Meta going all in on the metaverse and not curbing their hiring through the pandemic, that's not because our economy hurt. There's people who can afford MLS. Do you know why they're not buying it? Because they're not willing to pay for another subscription service.
Because it's garbage.
So if you get in bed with Amazon and I don't know, maybe you're one of the 3 people on the entire planet who are not Prime subscribers, are you really going to add whatever the cost of Amazon Prime Sports is to be able to watch? Yet somehow I don't think you're going to do that.
No. But I don't think Amazon's going to ask you to do that. I don't think that Amazon, and this is the thing. And this is what I feel like we always come back to this in this conversation, but it's just the reality of the situation. Amazon understands, okay, if we want to make another $1 billion per year, let's say, well, let's just raise the Prime membership by $1. Average Joe's not going to think twice about $1. But because we have so many people consuming and doing our content and doing our product on Amazon, that's what we have that option. And that's why I feel like it's this combination of Pac-12 doesn't really have a good overall product. You've got basically 3 teams that carry all the water for you. And also it's a thing where George Kliavkoff is incompetent. That's the other side of this. Like you have to at some point do business differently than you've always done it. And if you don't, you're going to be in the same spot, which they are.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think it's really, I don't know how we can expect consumers to continue to add subscription fees to their bank accounts. I don't know how we're going to keep doing that. I don't know how, like Live Golf might be the one sport that I understand. You've got Saudi oil money. The guys who chop people's heads off are richer than God, right?
Stay hard.
It's unbelievable. Okay, they can afford to lose the billions of dollars they're losing. But if I look at Apple TV, if I look at the deals that Apple TV's trying to do with the T-Mobiles of the world, and the integration of all these different platforms where they're trying to partner with each other, at some point people just aren't going to spend the money.
100%.
And the other thing that's troubling, like there was a story today about TV viewing. Do you guys understand that men and women 18 to 49 listen to the radio more than they watch TV? For the first time in history, it came out today through research. Men and women 18 to 49 years old listen to the radio more than they watch broadcast TV. Let that sink into your head. That's amazing. What does it say? It doesn't matter if Live Golf's on the CW because the prime demographic isn't there. It's not there. They're on stream, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's where what's amazing is it's like 89% of people 12 plus in our country have been exposed one way or the other to streaming product in the last 30 days.
Yeah.
89%. If that is, full swing on Netflix last night.
Yeah.
If that is, me watching the Jazz game on my phone last night through the AT&T DirecTV app.
Yeah.
Like if
Stream is taking over.
Stream is where it's at. So the idea that, and sure, you can stream Apple TV, and sure, you can stream Amazon Sports is going to have their own app here in not too long. Like I totally get all that. But again, I'm 50 years old now. I'm not the guy that's willing to just throw out there for all of these different streaming services. Yeah. And I'm terrified that the Pac-12 is going to wind up at Apple TV, and I'm not doing it. I'm telling you right now, if Apple's part of the deal, whatever part of the deal that Apple is, I'm not going to be watching that.
Yep.
I don't think they are. I think it's Amazon, and I think it's ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
that'd be the best case for everybody.
I think I still maintain, from what I've been told by our sources in TV, Amazon's going to have a Friday night Pac-12 game. ESPN's going to have 1 or 2 games a week max.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the inventory and the space. They don't have a need. I think that's going to be the TV deal.
Yeah.
And I think that you're going to be able to have all of this stuff. And I think you're just going to have to, you're going to have to figure out exactly how this works. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to find balance.
How does it fit into your budget?
Stream and traditional outlets, because stream is just eating, dude. Stream is where it's at.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
D-Rock Irish says sometimes you should do without depending on your family budget. Agree, Mr. Monty. But I think that's the reality of it. We are in a position where I think most of us are not millionaires. I think most of us have to look at our budget, what's coming in versus what's going out. And I think there's a lot of people in this country right now who are carrying credit card debt because they're trying to figure out, well, should I pay my rent or should I pay off my credit card? Can I pay my rent with my credit card? How am I going to pay for my groceries? How am I going to, you're managing basic life decisions because, and granted, inflation's coming down, totally get it. Employment is up, totally get it. That doesn't mean that Americans are thriving.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we're not in, by definition, a recession, and I don't think this year we're going to be, but you look at the economic situation in the garden variety American home. Decisions are being made on a daily basis. Are we choosing Pop-Tarts or are we choosing apples? Well, apples now are X amount and Pop-Tarts are X amount. And then try to figure out where Paramount Plus fits into that.
Yes.
Or where does Netflix fit into that?
Yes.
Right? That's the thing that is so scary. And again, I always equate this stuff back to real life situations. Look at the housing boom that's been happening, not in the last 2 years, but certainly the 5 to 7 years before that. How many people bought a house that was worth $300, but they paid $500? And now today they're trying to refi out of that, but instead of 3%, they're paying 8, 9, 10%.
This is a code 10 abort.
And so their payment went from, $2,000 a month to $5,000 a month. Where does Paramount Plus fit into that?
Nowhere.
Why do you think Amazon Prime is such a big deal? Because I can not only get diapers for little Timmy, but I can also get my Amazon Prime Video. That's why Amazon has the leverage.
That's why they're winning.
Anyway, I'm just probably,
Yeah. No, you're spot on.
I just think you look at the way that Americans are living their lives right now. I don't think, again, the Elons or the Donalds or all these billionaires, they're different. Steve Cook has no idea what my problems are. Right? Like Elon Musk has no idea what your problems are. None. They can't understand the choice between organic and not organic because they have somebody that does their shopping and cooks the food too. Right? Like,
yes,
you
they're
think about
on a different level. Yeah, they have a different experience.
Yeah. SA says 2 tacos at Jack in the Box went from $1.27 to $1.92. That's criminal. There are statutes in most towns to prevent price hikes at Jack in the Box.
Hey, look here, man.
By the way, do they include a subsidy for the cardiologist when you... Never mind, I'll stop. Let's see. Gumby Extra Regular says Steve Cook. Tim Cook. I said Steve Cook, the fitness guy.
You did, but it's fine. He's in the same place.
Steve Cook isn't. Steve Cook has more money than Tim Cook.
Yeah.
Can you access Pac-12 Network without already having a cable package? You couldn't before. You cannot.
The
package. But they're trying to change that.
Yeah.
They're trying to change that.
Yeah.
Is, essentially what I'm telling you.
Yes.
They're trying to change that. And they may well. They may well change that. But we'll see.
Oh, man. They are in trouble.
What?
The PAC. I mean, it's just, I don't know how you get out of this. Dude.
It's scary.
Yeah, I don't know how you get out of this.
It is scary, dude. It is. Let's see. Obviously, you didn't go to Oregon. Academics at Oregon are a joke. All they care about is the appearance of diversity and Utah craziness. I wonder how long I'll be able to listen today. Well, look, I know we've tried to stay away from the academic conversation. We have tried as much as we can try to stay away from it because it pisses people off.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you now, if you don't believe that academics play a role in college football realignment, you're crazy.
Yeah. And by the way, I mean, I said this Thursday, I think. I just don't, it's not impactful to us if you're going to be the guy that says, oh, well, how long can I listen today? Or I'm going to unsubscribe. Great. Unsubscribe. It's fine, dude. Like, I love that you're here, but you're not taking any sweat off our back, man. Like, it just is what it is. Like,
I don't understand why it's so personal to have conversations. Tell me, like, if we were having conversations out of left field that were completely irrelevant to Pac-12, Big 12 realignment, then I could understand it. But if we have to explain again, and I'm not doing it, I'll just be honest with you, I'm so over the argument. If we have to explain again why academics matter in these conversations in the Pac-12, dude, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basic stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's right, T.
I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. I'm not. D-Rock says Excel monthly budget sheets, folks. It's in the numbers. Look closely. There you go. Jet Wayman, the tile king of Utah. No NBA games on ESPN or TNT tonight. Damn.
Tuesday, brother. It's Tuesday.
Yeah, well, there used to be Tuesday, Hoop. There's not. But we're getting to the point in the season, like the Jazz, you guys realize the Jazz don't play for 5 days.
How does that even happen?
The Jazz don't play for 5 days.
Like, I legit don't understand how that happens.
Yeah, I don't know either. I would love to
I know they played
that.
a bunch of back-to-backs in the first half, but 5 days? I mean, if you want to say 3 days, I get it.
By the way, the bet of the night in the NBA is Milwaukee minus 1.5 on the Suns. You got to take the Suns to win that game. That's on NBA TV, by the way. But, it is what it is. Gumby Extra Regular. If only Cal would improve their academic standing. Well, if only Cal could win a football game. Brandon Whitney, a member of the program, says the truth hurts. Adam Densley. For myself, I canceled Comcast and got YouTube TV. Amen, dude. I save almost $100 a month. I buy MLS, MLB, NFL ticket, and I save money over the year and get everything I want. Dude.
Yes.
I'm kind of with you on YouTube TV. The only thing that troubles me is I don't think you can get NBA League Pass and MLB home plate on YouTube TV.
You can get League Pass through what they do is you don't get League Pass on YouTube TV, but League Pass and NBA or YouTube TV and NBA have a relationship where you can view your League Pass account through the YouTube TV app. So they have that convenience feature, but the problem is MLB Extra Innings, the MLB package, you cannot get. It's a separate thing unto itself because YouTube TV and Major League Baseball couldn't come to an agreement.
I agree. Tom, a member of the show, says, can the Pac-12 get an SVB type bailout? SVB didn't get bailed out. SVB, the deposits are all going to be guaranteed. People yesterday got access to all of their money at SVB, but they didn't bail out that bank. I mean, that bank they're done.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
man, the Silicon Valley Bank thing is a big deal, man.
It's bad.
It is a big deal. Don't even get me started on that. Jet Wayman, the Tile King of Utah, says streaming is where it's at.
Yep.
Jeremy Callahan says, talk about Kliavkoff for a week straight and see who is left standing at the end. The true fans will remain. Yeah, right. Jet Wayman says, I might watch Lakers game on League Pass. Dude, we got to talk about Kevin Garnett.
Let's do it. We got time.
Kevin Garnett has a conspiracy theory that's not really a conspiracy theory. We've talked about this for months now. Kevin Garnett finally came around to the Monty awesomeness.
Doesn't make you feel responsible.
And I think I tell you guys this on a daily basis, that I'm amazing. I'm not only really smart.
Fucking A.
Right? I'm not only really smart. I'm not only really good looking.
Wow, Dad.
You know.
Wow.
I rock a thimble. It is what it is.
Donnie, please.
Kevin Garnett yesterday goes on.
I rock a thimble.
Kevin Garnett goes on his podcast yesterday on Showtime. And he proceeds to tell Paul Pierce that he believes LeBron may be faking his injury in order to prove a point about Anthony Davis.
Infowars.com.
And whether or not Anthony street closed Davis. They want to make or break with him because
Anthony street closed Davis.
The Lakers are going to trade Anthony Davis this summer.
Anthony street closed Davis.
Now, for those of you who understand how brilliant I am, you've listened to the show for months where we've told you they're going to trade Anthony Davis this summer. Because Bronny ain't playing no games.
Nope.
Neither is LeBron.
Nope.
And my feeling is LeBron understands now that the Lakers are wasting him.
And it's very powerful.
And they're losing games. And they're losing games they should win. And if you look at Anthony Davis right now, it's because he can't finish like a layup at the front of the rim.
No.
We're watching the game the other night, and I'm just awestruck.
Get the fuck out!
He can't finish a layup at the front of the rim. And you are wasting LeBron James. And now D'Lo is actually shooting the three really well. Beasley's had a little bit of a cold streak here. But you're getting really high level of play out of Austin Reeves. You're actually getting Dennis Schroeder doing something other than sucking out loud. Like the Lakers should be a top 8 playoff team.
How about that?
They should be. I think they should have been able to take a run at that 6th spot, but now they won't because Anthony Davis has not been great.
That's an issue.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think that Anthony Davis is incredibly fortunate he hit that 3 to win them a championship. Because I think if he hadn't done that, we'd be having a completely different conversation. I've already been on the anti-AD thing. I think that Anthony Davis has been a complete letdown. I think that, the first time that Bron has been hurt, whether you think he's faking it or not, he's on the injury report. The first time that Bron can't carry the boat, can't carry the mail, can't carry the water
your mom.
For this team, he can't carry your mom. Anthony Davis can't get it done. And I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of the Lakers not being the Lakers, man. It sucks.
And they're only 2.5 games out of the 6th spot. 2.5 games.
I'm not afraid to die.
Apparently he is afraid to die. 2.5 games, 7-3 in their last 10. But has anybody looked at their schedule? Look at the Lakers' schedule for the rest of the way. And I would remind you that we have less than a month left of the season. At New Orleans tonight, at Houston, Dallas, Orlando, Phoenix, Oklahoma City, Chicago, at Minnesota, at Houston, at Utah, at the Clippers, Phoenix and Utah.
Yeah.
You're telling me you can't make up 2 games on the Clippers in that time?
You can, but I think that's the point.
Okay, but I look at the Clippers schedule, and the Clippers, in my opinion, have a very difficult schedule. Golden State, Orlando, at Portland, OKC, New Orleans, Chicago, at Memphis, at New Orleans. And I don't know, in that New Orleans game, I don't know if Fat Ass is going to be back or not.
We're here for one reason.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be back or not. We'll see. Lakers, Portland, at Phoenix.
I'm pumped.
So let me get this right. I think the Clippers have a more difficult schedule, and you got to run into the Lakers on Wednesday, April 5th. The Lakers should be able to catch the Clippers.
But they won't.
How long is LeBron out? And how long until Anthony Davis gets hurt and is out for the year?
The year. Yeah, the 10 games left.
No, the year. Like, he will pull his labia and be out for the rest of the year. It's a serious injury, dude.
Listen,
that's like a 6-week injury.
He's going to roll his ankle in his Kobe Grinches, and we all know the story.
Same thing. That's the same injury I just described.
Come on, dude.
What?
I'm just so tired of this guy not living up to it. I want Anthony Davis to carry this team, man. Be the guy that you're supposed to be.
Look at Devin Pohl. AD is washed. Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Henry Ginder says Lakers winning play-in and beating the Nuggets round 1. Stop. How awesome would that be?
Who is that guy?
How awesome would that be?
Who the fuck are you?
Are you guys Denver guys or not? Because I am. I think MPJ.
God, you're a Denver guy now?
No, I'm a believer. Look, dude, you can only...
Bro, what's the flavor of the week with you, dude? 2 weeks ago, it was Philly. Last week, it was New York. Now it's Denver.
See, but
come on.
Here's the difference, you freaking millennial. I don't sit here and drop slander on people's names. I don't do that. I don't sit around and slander a quality team. Just Anthony Davis. That's true. I do slander Anthony Davis. That's a good point. But I don't sit here and slander the Knicks like you do. I don't sit here and slander the dad bod God like you do.
Right.
I don't believe in doing it. Who?
The dad bod.
Fat?
No, he's not.
He's got a dad bod.
That doesn't make him fat. I have a dad bod and I'm not fat.
Fat?
I'm ripped.
I'm a man.
Anyway, I smoke a lot of tree. The point is, I don't actually. The point is, you just don't like teams. It's not whether I don't know that I like the Knicks. I respect the Knicks.
Why is it a problem to say they've got proving to do?
Who?
Why am I required to say that they're having a good season?
Denver?
No, the Knicks. Because
the Knicks are having they're not having a good season. For the Knicks, this has been a compelling second half.
Okay, but see, why can you couch it that way and I can't couch it this way? You can couch it for the Knicks, they're having a great season, but then I can't say I'm not going to give these guys credit because they're the Knicks until they win a playoff series.
Because I'm more smarter than you.
Right.
And I say
Where
things
are we at in society today?
differently. I don't disagree, but what I do is I separate the two. What they're going to do in the playoffs doesn't mean shit about what they're doing in the regular season. It just doesn't. The two are unrelated. Like, it's the regular season. Why not stop at they've had a good regular season?
Because that's not what we do in sports.
You can't stop that because you hate the Knicks. So you're going to say, oh, they've had a good regular season.
I love the J.R.
But you
Smith
and I
Knicks.
both know they're going facial recognition in the playoffs. It's over, bro.
Buddy doesn't want the FBI in his building. We
you
get
and
it.
I both know that's where this is going to end up.
Facial recognition.
Yeah, absolutely. You and I both know that's where this is going to end up.
I get it, but I guess it's just different. You can separate them now, but are you going to separate them after the season when they get bounced in the first round?
Probably. Jet Wayman says AD has and always will be injury prone. Truth. Tom says, I bet the Timberwolves put together a great trade package for that type of big man.
Stay hard.
Damn, I thought we were going to get a T-Wolves in the East reference. That would have been clutch.
Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards has hit a gear here, by the way. I'm just saying.
Proving to do.
I'm just saying.
By the way,
Yes.
not that, I guess anyone wants to talk about Ja today, but not great news for Ja. Going to be out, enters the program, the counseling program, likely out for what the organization is saying is the foreseeable future.
But they don't tell you what kind
of
treatment program it is.
They don't. They don't.
They don't tell you that. All of our NBA and Utah Jazz talk on this show is presented by our good friends at Quick Quack Car Wash. Quick Quack Car Wash. I'll tell you, we went to a car wash here in good old Tempe, Arizona.
Yeah.
And it was not a great experience.
That was a mistake.
Because it's garbage.
The car wash was dreadful.
Brutal.
And that was the first thing I noticed. You get into the tunnel in these car washes that are not so great, and you realize how spoiled you are when you go to a Quick Quack because you get a better quality wash, you get a better quality
But what did you say when we rolled up? What was the first thing you said? Here we go. Get in a machine.
I got to get in a machine. It's a credit card machine. I don't understand what kind of washes they are. You go through, there's not very much soap on the car. There's not a whole lot of water on the car. So what happens? You pull up at the vacuum, the car's dirty. So what also happens? They don't have any damp towels. You got to go looking for damp towels. You finally find them, and you're washing your car all over again because the car wash was so bad.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I'm telling you, Quick Quack is cheaper than this car wash, and they're better because the car wash is excellent at Quick Quack.
Yes.
The vacuums, they have the accessory attachment in the vacuums. You get fresh towels sitting right there at every dryer stall. Like it just... or at every vacuum stall. Like, it's just a better experience. Quick Quack has spoiled me. That's why I tell you every single day on this show, if you're not going to Quick Quack Car Wash, I'm telling you, you're getting a less than satisfactory experience. And you should absolutely go to Quick Quack Car Wash because they present all of our NBA and Utah Jazz talk. And it's just one of those places where you get a smile. You get professional service, and the car wash is fantastic, and you're in and out in 5 minutes. That was the other thing. The line was forever at this car wash, man. I miss Quick Quack.
Yes.
I miss it.
And it's only been 2 days.
Yeah, it's only been 2 days. It has only been 2 days.
Yeah.
So there you have it. All right, let's go ahead and hit the like button. Appreciate that.
Jesus.
Where are we at?
Bro,
Whoa,
Greg.
whoa,
Dude, what
Greg
are you doing,
Hawkins.
bro? Dude, save some money for the subscriptions. Jesus.
Greg Hawkins gives us $50. Sorry for missing the Big 5-0 Monty and Jake family stuff. Great show today. Greg.
Dude, Greg, bro, it's cool. We know why you missed. It's all good,
dude.
Appreciate you, man.
It is all good.
Yeah.
We appreciate you,
gotta
man.
make that right. We're good, bro.
Good to see you, Greg. Well, you'll just have to make it. You'll just have to make it up to us by I don't know. Let's get together outside, man. No Big 5-0. Good to see you, Greg. Appreciate the tip. Brandon Whitney says Coach Prime just announced that the spring game is on ESPN.
Anyone surprised?
Well, I think we've known that, though, that their spring game was on ESPN. Mike M says, Ja going to the blackout hut for some self-actualization.
Okay, it's called a darkness retreat, dude, not a blackout hut.
What kind of rehab is Ja going to?
It's got to be alcoholism, dude.
I
mean, I don't know what else it would be.
Well, I saw the pictures of the strippers. It could be sex addiction rehab, which isn't real.
Could be.
It ain't real, man. What kind
not
of...
real.
I love everybody who's like, I cheated on my wife. I got to go to sex addiction rehab. It doesn't work.
I got kicked out because I was a little too addicted to my counselor.
Yeah, I went to sex rehab. And no, I'm not playing. No. I ain't playing your stupid little games. But Ja Morant is in rehab of an unknown variety.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
This is a really scary thing.
Yeah, he ain't going to be back till next year, dude.
First of all, he's done for the year. Second of all, he should be done for the year. Third of all, he's going to be just fine. He's going to be just fine. I'm telling you right now, Ja Morant's going to come out the other side of this a better human being.
Yeah.
Does that mean that he's not going to have a stripper's netherworld on his face again, like in those pictures? Probably not. Is Ja at all embarrassed about those pictures coming?
No.
Did you guys see the pictures?
He'll say
of him
he
in the
will
strip
in
club?
his statement. In a statement he releases or a conference he does, he will, but he won't be.
Dude.
Yeah, dude.
I just,
booty.
I don't know what you do.
Can you do something for me?
I honestly, I don't know what you do, and it is terrifying to me.
Yeah.
If I'm Ja Morant, it's terrifying.
I mean, I think that you have to go through this. You just have to understand now you're in a process. Like, I guarantee you, on some level, Ja Morant understands, all right, I don't know what I was doing. I knew that eventually I would have to stop doing this stuff, but I didn't realize it would turn into such a big deal. And I think that's the lesson. I mean, I don't think that Ja Morant is naive to a point where he's like, oh, yeah, wow, flashing a gun on IG Live is a problem.
But how stupid are you?
Yeah, he was stupid. You got to remember he's a kid, though. He's 23. Like, you're stupid. You are. You're inexperienced.
You're stupid. Well, and you know what, CJ Vance? CJ says, I'm confused. What exactly is he rehabbing? Being stupid isn't a disease, it's a choice.
God damn, bro. You take it easy.
I would hope, if you're in rehab, I would hope that there was substance abuse that made you do the stupid things that you've done. But are you telling me that you were an alcoholic when you walked into that volleyball gym with your sister? Are you telling me you were drunk when you and your boys allegedly rolled past the Indiana Pacers bus in an SUV and pointed lasers at them?
Hey, guys.
Are you telling me that I could see you being drunk in that strip club live streaming with that stripper's Golden Fields Forever in your face?
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
Okay, I could see you being drunk in that club. And I understand why he needs to get his life sorted. I don't buy for a second that Ja Morant did the things he did because he's an alcoholic. I think Ja Morant did the things he did because he's 20, whatever he is, 22, 23. He is a multimillionaire. And he has nobody that's like, yeah, dude, we probably shouldn't have a gun out when she's got her life form in your face on live stream. Furthermore,
life form.
Furthermore, you probably shouldn't be, and this is just me.
Careful now. I don't want you to reinvent the wheel.
You probably shouldn't be live streaming when, Diamonds and Pearls have her strawberry fields when Peaches has her strawberry fields forever on your face. I wouldn't be live streaming.
Oh my God.
I cannot come up with any more analogies for the female sex organs other than to say she had the spot on your face and you were live streaming with a gun.
Jackass.
Dude, do you not know who Plaxico Burris is?
I just want to thank you all.
You guys remember that when New York Giant wide receiver Plaxico Burris allegedly had a pipe in his pants?
Okay, that came out wrong.
And then his gun hit the floor and missed the pipe in his pants by like a millimeter. He shot himself in the thigh, allegedly, because the gun hit the floor. Because he had no drawers in those underpants and lap dancing and stuff. Like, how stupid are these guys?
Very.
And the last thing I'll say before we talk about moving to Elon Town. The fact that, let me get this right. You're a tens of millionaire. You just signed a new deal with Nike. You just signed a new deal with Powerade that now got quashed. And you want to live stream sex acts in a club with a gun. Okay, yeah, let's do it, man. What do we got to lose besides everything?
Yeah, what do you have? 50 million followers?
Idiot.
No problem.
What an idiot, dude. Like, in all seriousness.
Yeah.
And you're not a kid, dude. I see. D-Rock, when are you no longer a kid? When you're making that kind of bread, people think they're men. That money doesn't make you a man. That gun that you bought with that money doesn't make you a man. The dude, when you pull out a gun, that's not a joke anymore. Were you a man when you were getting into that fight with that 17-year-old allegedly at your house and you went back in your house and came out of the house with a gun in your waistband?
Drop that motherfucker.
Did that make you a man? It didn't. That kid was 17.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody, and I understand the culture is, hey, let's flash gang signs and let's go to strip clubs and.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Dude,
yes.
I get it. You love yourself some cherry pie. I get it.
Yes.
That doesn't make you a man. Pulling out a gun doesn't make you a man. How many gangbangers are in jail when they're 17 for murder because they pulled out a gun?
If you guys ever want to kick it, we'll flow.
All it means is you're stupid. That's what it means.
Yeah.
It means you're stupid and we can't trust you.
Yep.
That's what that means.
Dude.
That's exactly what that means. McKenna Tech Dan says another one that needed a good holster and would have saved himself a lot of trouble. Should have called Dan first, Plaxico. You need a
See what Dan did there? So Dan understands an opportunity when he sees one, unlike Ja or George Kleofcock.
Here's the problem with Plaxico Burris in that club.
Right. And excuse me, can you stop saying club? It's club. Thank you.
In the club.
Yeah.
He had a gun in the waistband of his sweatpants, allegedly, with no underwear on. That means the barrel was pointed at the pipe. And anytime a gun is pointed in the regions of, the delivery system.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. At least shoot, but put the gun in the back of your pants. At least shoot yourself in the ass, right?
This hour of the program is brought to you by Cabela's and Plaxico Burris. I think we have some gifting going on, by the way, by Greg.
Why?
Yeah, I think we got some.
Why did you point that gun at your
We do.
schwanz?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, look at that. Greg giving away 10 memberships. You stud. Kurt Peters. Let's go. Kurt Peters, a member of the show.
Let's
Thank
go.
you, Kurt. Gregory Krug. Let's go. Greg Hawkins says, I think we have 8 gift memberships left still. Not sure how it works. Yep. I love it. French fries. In the Big 12, I would say no, curly fries are not French fries. I would say Baylor is a brand that's tough to beat. Excellent in both football and basketball. I also think BYU is a big brand. Oregon is a top brand overall in the Pac-12. I would agree.
Thank you for a solid take.
I would agree. Mike M says, absolutely stupid, but Ja grew up ingrained with this behavior, going from being poor to, but he wasn't poor. Ja didn't grow up
misnomer,
poor.
Dude.
Ja did not grow up poor.
Everyone says, oh, Ja Morant grew up, with a single mother and went to public school. Dude, this guy grew up with a mom and a dad, went to private school, and then found his way to Murray State.
That's what I'm saying.
He had money, dude. This
saying.
guy, what am I doing, an 8 Mile take right now? This guy went to private school, bro. This guy had money.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Come on now.
Okay, real quick before we go watch a Cubs baseball game.
Yeah.
Would you want to live in Elon Town?
You fucking donkey.
Elon Musk is building a town in the middle of nowhere, Texas.
Texas? Why is all this stuff always happen in Texas?
Well, because he's going to build a giga battery, a giga factory.
A gigabit, gigablast,
giga
your mom.
No,
bro, chill, dude, chill. This is a family program. Dude.
See, what I meant... anyway, so
Dude.
He's going to build a gigafactory in the middle of Sandy, Texas.
What's up, big bro?
But here's the thing. After what he did at Twitter, do you really want to live in Elon Town?
If I knew what I was going to fucking do, I'd have already done it.
Right? So Donald, DJT, and Elon have both talked about building these new towns, these utopic cities where everything's going to be perfect and you're never going to get an abortion and the cops are going to be well paid.
This is fucking America.
Right? Like that's what these towns are going to be.
Right.
They say. But what's going to happen the first time somebody gets murdered in one of these towns?
Donnie, you're out of your element.
What's going to happen the first time, like, Jimmy's liquor store gets knocked off in one of these towns?
What the fuck are you talking about?
That would never happen in one of these towns.
And here's the question that I need to answer. How are you going to afford to buy the houses in that town? So you're supposedly going to work at Elon's gigabyte factory where they make batteries
and market it better for the environment, even though they're never going to degrade and are worse for the environment.
What is it? It's a gigafactory, right? Like a battery making factory.
Let me be a bigger casual and just
I
Google
think I think that's what it's called, but whatever. I don't know.
Yes,
anyway, the point is,
gigafactory.
do you guys want to work and live in Elon Town? That sounds flipping miserable to me.
I don't get down like that.
There's no such thing as utopia, which means perfect society, right?
But
like
that's what they all try
world.
to market it as, like, right? Like no crime, everyone makes money.
But what is life going to be like in those towns? You're probably not going to own the houses. Elon will probably own the houses.
Daddy?
So you're going to rent from Elon. Because think about what this guy said. You must work in the office. Do you know the misery that's going to be that
he owns you, bro?
That gigatown. That's crazy. And people are actually excited to buy a house in Elon Town.
Uh-oh.
Do
you get a free Tesla at least?
I don't know.
Like,
that would
does
be
a
awesome.
Tesla come with the contract that you're renting?
But does it when you think about this? What is it? What do you think life there is like? Like, is there a grocery store? Is there a 7-Eleven?
Yeah, I think it's a fully functioning town. The problem is,
but is it a QT town or is it a 7-Eleven town?
It's a Maverick town. Thank you very much.
So it's a Maverick Adventure's first stop.
Adventure's
in
first
Elon
stop.
Town.
Adventure's first stop in a dictatorship in Elon Town. I mean, that's what this is.
What are the cops like?
I don't know. They're probably wearing Tesla uniforms with, shocking guns and, yeah, that's what they are. Apparently, they're not going to have much to do.
And they're all going to be well paid and appreciated. Mm-hmm. And I just don't think these towns.
You think anybody's missing rent in Elon Town?
Yeah. What happens if you work at Tesla and you can't afford to pay your rent?
In Elon Town.
Does he just dock your paycheck?
I guess.
I don't know. I'm not.
That's what I'm saying,
I have no desire. I guess I'm just too old. I'm 50 years old.
Concept.
I'm 50 years old. I have no desire to live in my dad's house. Like, because that's what this feels like. If you move to Elon Town, Texas, it feels like you're living in dad's house.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me that there's not going to be cameras in your house?
You got to fuck one, marry one, kill one. Go.
Right?
Which one's not on camera?
Let me ask you this. If you live in Elon Town and work at Tesla, can he tell you how many kids you can have?
Do you see how this goes to dictatorship real quick?
That's what I'm saying. And by the way, even if you are a Donald Trump supporter, do you want to live in Donald Trump's utopic town? Does everybody get to have sex with a porn star and deny it?
Is January 6th every day?
I said, does everybody... Do all the women look like Stormy Daniels?
I want it.
Dude.
Nothing?
Dude. Dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Mommy, please take me home.
Yeah. Dude, he had sex with Stormy Daniels, allegedly.
It's actually not that easy, but for me, it was easy.
Teddy Wayman gives us a $5 tip. The Tao King of Utah says, I would take a Tesla as long as it was gas and manual.
Physiologically, it's a non-starter.
Yeah, I don't know that they do that.
How about these electric car companies? They're building an electric car, but they're building in fake manuals to appease enthusiasts.
Yeah,
you guys see this?
No, fake manual.
Oh yeah, they're putting in fake manuals. The manual does nothing for the car, but they make the car drive like a manual. So like you don't have a transmission, but they've built the car to feel like that, so that enthusiasts will be more enthused about their enthusiasms with electric cars.
Enthusiasms. I get it. Okay. I get it. I just think it's weird, and this is just me. I think it's weird that we're trying to live in utopias because there's no such thing as perfect societies, dude.
Nope.
There just is not.
Nope.
All right. Mrs. Monty is sitting here shaking her moneymaker because it is time for us to go to the
Josh Strip Club.
It is time for us to go to the Chicago Cubs game. Make sure that you don't forget that Bucked Up Energy is the official energy drink of the Monty program.
Hey, Monty.
Make sure that you get to buckedup.com. Use the promo code Monty to save 20% off at checkout. Make sure you get your 3 free samples in the link below in the description. 3 samples and the best shaker cup you will ever own from Bucked Up Energy. Right there. Any color you want.
Yeah.
Any color combination you want. 3 free samples. Get the BCAAs. Get the pre-workout. Get the, hydrate your bone stuff.
Yeah.
Go get it. Click the link in the description below. And, until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.
Wait, hold on. Goodbye, Jake. Bye.
Goodbye, Jake. Oh.